Well, good day, everyone. Um, there's a number of different places I could start. Let's just start with what I'm thinking at the moment. I've been trying to learn Greek for 30 or 40 years. I've bought lots of resources. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm going to make that very clear up front. This is an opportunity for you to learn with me. Let's learn Greek together and we can encourage each other. That's probably my biggest difficulty. I am a procrastinator. I'm lazy. um, but also, yeah, trying to find a good Greek teacher without spending lots of money has been difficult. But as Christians, we have the Holy Spirit. He's the best teacher there is, and I believe we can learn together. I don't think it necessarily needs to be difficult to learn Greek. A lot of people like to use the phrase, it's all Greek to me, it's impossible to understand, is essentially what many people mean by that. And it shouldn't be that way. God inspired his revelation of Jesus Christ to be in Greek. The Old Testament was in Hebrew, and that was the precursor to what was going to be revealed to be Jesus Christ. We don't know him as Jesus Christ in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, he's revealed to be Jesus Christ, and that was through Greek. And so we shouldn't see this as an impossibility. We shouldn't see this as something difficult, or even we shouldn't see it as something unnecessary. I believe this is very necessary for us to learn Greek and to seek to dig into God's word in that way. Does it mean that you'll necessarily be a better Christian by learning Greek? Not necessarily, but there's definitely the opportunity for that as you come to understand God's word better, and there's more clarity around what God's actually saying, instead of, well, what did he really mean by this when we look at the English? Because that's not inspired, as much as some people may want to assert, well, it has to be inspired in English. Well, there's nothing to indicate that it should be inspired in English. It's the Greek that God inspired. Anyway, let's get started with the alphabet. 3 minutes of me talking. Oh, Kevin's on his way. Awesome. So let's start with the alphabet, and I'll just bring it up, and then we can go there and have a look at it. And I will be teaching you, or I'll be suggesting the pronunciation that I know for Greek. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not going to expect you to agree with my pronunciation, but this will be the pronunciation that I'll be using unless someone can show me otherwise. So let's start. Now, for those of you that speak English, assume if you're listening to me, you understand English. Be difficult to listen to this if you don't know English. There are similarities between our alphabet and the Greek alphabet, and I've found that that's a good way to try to lay a little bit of a platform for how to learn the Greek alphabet. You may find that useful, you might not, but that's what I'm going to suggest to you. So the first 5 letters more or less follow the English alphabet, A, B, C, D, E. They drop the C and they add in the G. So A, B, G, as in G, D, E. Now the A and the E are both short, A or sorry, and E. Not the long A sound and the long E sound. We'll get to both of those later on. So alpha or alpha, beta, although some people say to me that 2,000 years ago they actually pronounced it Veta. I'll stick with beta. Gamma, always the hard G for gamma, for their G, if you will. Delta. No, epsilon. And then we have the three etas, three letters that rhyme with the sound eta. Some people pronounce it eta. I will be using eta. So zeta, eta, and theta. So this is essentially our Z or Z sound if you're an American. And then the, well, some people equate it to the long E, but I believe, based on my research, it's accurately actually the A sound. And then theta. So that's the breathed, or the TH with air moving through, not the not the voiced TH, as in then. It's the th. So there are, I can't think of an English word at the moment, sorry, off the top of my head, that uses that TH. We do use that TH, but all the words that are popping into my head at the moment use the other TH, like the and then and there are all the, not the th. So it's the th with air going through. If you remember that, that should sort you out. And then iota. I am reliably informed, although some people say iota, but I believe that's incorrect. And then other people say the short I, iota, but frequently short I sounds the same as E. So something like that. You won't be too far off if you say iota or iota when you see it on its own. Other letters can change the sounds. So if you put two vowels together, so your vowels are alpha, epsilon, eta, iota, omicron, we'll get to later, and omega, and upsilon would be your other vowel sound. So there's 7 letters that are vowels in Greek, whereas in English we only have 5 letters that are vowels, and sometimes Y is as well. So 5.5, if you will. And you'll notice that we're back to the order in the English alphabet. So if you skip over everything after E, and when you get to I, and then you skip J, and then they add in an X in between N and O, we skip Q, and I may have missed 1 or 2 others down to T, and then essentially U, upsilon, more or less. We'll get to that shortly. So if you want to see them in that order, so that's comparing it to the English alphabet, which might be useful for you, because there's a lot of similarity in sound, and there's lots of letters that look the same in the 2 alphabets for the same sound. So let's just keep reading through this. I'm just checking whether anyone's joined me. So where were we? Zeta, eta, theta, iota or iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, and xi. So it's the letter X. So it's x. So xi. We never have X, and we pronounce the k sound of the X. So if X is at the beginning of a word in English, we say z, xylophone, for example. But in Greek, it's x, which you just need to learn that. That's unusual for an English speaker, but it's always x, not z, in English. Although there are times where I hear people say it and it sounds like Z, but probably because they're English speakers. But I don't know. I don't know Greeks. I don't know, and I certainly don't know anybody who speaks Koine Greek 2,000 years ago. I don't have a time machine. So, but anyway, that's what I'll be trying to work with. Let's make sure that we pronounce the k in the X or the Z. And then Omicron. Notice that this letter is getting used a lot at the moment. It is not Omnicron or Omicron, which is how I used to get confused with Omicron. Omicron. It's always short O, not the O. We'll get to that one shortly as well. And then P, you may know this from mathematics. That's the same symbol, although the way that it's written there looks a little bit different. Usually the tails hang out. I should probably change this to a font that shows that better. But from maths, you usually call this pi in maths. In Greek, it's pronounced P. So we'll stick with calling it P. And then rho or hro. So there's a H sound with the R, not always. We'll get to that later as well. And I'll tell you the difference. So rho or hro. Don't stress too much about that. Stick with the R that you know, the R sound that you already know. That'll be good enough. Then sigma is the S sound. And then tau, that's how that's pronounced. Tau would be if you separate it into two, but I'm reliably informed that it's tau. And then upsilon. So it looks like the Y, and there is overlap between Y and U in Greek. So this letter can make a W sound as well. So 3, depending on, but we'll get to all that as well. For now, let's just remember that this is the U sound, the short double O, if you want to think of it that way, or the U, not the of the short U, but the medium length U sound, not the U, the U. Right. If you're missing any of this, just replay it again and again. I know I have an Australian accent, but I'm trying to keep the Greek. What you're hearing in the Greek is the way that I believe from my study, the way that it should be pronounced. So then we have the ALF sound, what we would call an F or PH, and that's where we get the PH from, is because of this and various other reasons. So phi, and then chi. So sometimes you hear this as key, but we've already got kappa for that sound. This is chi. It's guttural. It's further down in the throat, not up in the mouth. But if you're struggling to say it, just stick with the k sound for now until you can learn to do the guttural as the Scots do with the word loch. So Loch Ness Monster. It's not loch. Most people say loch because we speak English. We don't have this guttural sound as a general rule in English. It's borrowed from other languages like loch. So feel free to stick with k if you're struggling with that one. But remember that that's not kappa. It's key, or key if you prefer. But try and work on getting the guttural k eventually. And then psi, so this is actually pronounced PS. Ps. When that's in the middle of a word, that's easier, or at the end of a word, which I don't know if it does that. When it's the beginning of the word, like ks, this is difficult for us as English speakers unless we've learnt it from somewhere else. But psi. So that's another one to work on, one that's a bit more difficult for us. And then omega, this is your long O sound. And you notice that I've given you all of that. I've given you capital and lowercase there. You can get other languages as well. One other thing that I'll say to you, if you've got a computer or other device that you want to learn to type, you can download the Greek alphabet to the Greek keyboard, for your keyboard. You can do it on your phone keyboard. You can have the Greek alphabet. And on my phone, I just, once I've downloaded the alphabet, I just swipe the space bar sideways and it flicks between alphabets. And on your phone, it's easy because it shows you the Greek letters. If you download it for your PC, for example, your computer, of course, you'll still be using your physical keyboard and you won't see the Greek letters. So then you have to learn what Greek letter goes with which English key. So, but that is available. You can download Greek alphabets. If you want help with that, let me know. I've done that on all my devices so that I can type in Greek. Now, I know this is just introductory, but I just want to give you a taste of Greek. So you've got the capital letters in this column, and then in this column is capital letters, in this column is lowercase letters. So if you download a font or the keyboard, you can type Greek. You can get to learn these things on your device. Type them out, write them out, print this sheet out. Oh, actually, no, you don't have this sheet. But if you contact me, I'll try to get this to you, or just find one on the internet, Greek alphabet, print it out, and then use that as a template or so that you can copy it and copy it and copy it, and get used to the Greek alphabet. When you're learning these basic things, there's very little that you can do to make it easier than just, there's a bit of hard work to get started. But we're learning God's word. So I hope that encourages you to do this. Now, I've only gone for 20 minutes, and pretty much that's all I have to say about the Greek alphabet as an introductory lesson. There's probably many more things that could be said, and if someone's a better Greek teacher than me, they may say numerous other things that might be very useful to you, but that's where I am. Now I want to show you some Greek letters. So I've put the Greek letters off to the side and then tried to find some Greek words that start with that letter. So first of all, we have agape, written in lowercase and uppercase, and then anthropos, anthropos, anthropos. Let's try again 3 times. So you should know agape is one of the Greek words for love. There are actually 4 Greek words for love. The Bible only uses 3 of them. Agape is considered by many to be the highest form of love, and that's my belief about it, and the study that I've done. Then there's philo or philos, which is included in words like Philadelphia, which means love of the brethren. And that's sometimes equivalent with agape, sometimes not the same thing. So I'm not 100% certain on exactly what the distinction between philos or philo or phile and agape is. So, but it's something like that. So it's 1 Corinthians 13 is agape, not philos. But there are other places, in your Bible where you'll find it translated love, where it's the word philos or phile or some variation of it. Love of money is the word philos and the word money. Brotherly love is an example, as I've already mentioned. Then we've got anthropos. This means man or mankind, man as an individual or men as a group. It does not mean male. It means human. But frequently it refers to men. But there is another word that means male specifically. And then we have adelphos, which means brother. And yes, let's just stick with that for now. So those are the first 3 words that I've got. Those are for, those are for alpha. And then we've got beta. There's basileia, which means kingdom. And then basileus, which means king. And once again, I've given you lowercase and uppercase. For all these words, I'm giving you lowercase and uppercase. You do want to learn both letters. But it will take time. Some of the letters are easier than others. G'day, Kevin.
Hi, Graham.
So Kevin is, I don't know whether to call you a student or a fellow learner. we're both students. Let's put it that way. And then we've got gamma, and the first example I've given for that is gune, which is where we get our word gynecology from, and it means woman, female. And then grammateus, which I can't remember what that means, but it's where we get our English word grammar from. I'll have to look that up. And then for delta, I've put doxa and doulos. Those words might be familiar to you. Doxa means glory, doulos means slave or servant, is how it's often translated, but it literally does mean slave. And then for epsilon, I've got ethnos, which means it's where we get our word ethnicity from. So a people group by common descent. And then Irene, which, if I remember correctly, yes, means peace. And then Zeta, I've got Zoe and Zoon. So if I remember correctly, Zoe is life, Zoon is living thing, like an animal, for example. And it's where we get the word zoo from, where we put animals. And then I've got Aerodace. Sorry, I think that's Herod, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. And then Theos, which is God, or Theos, actually, not Theos, Theos. I'm going to have to remember that. It's not Theos, it's Theos. Iesus, which is Jesus. Kurios, Lord. Logos, which is word. Mathetes, which means disciple. Nomos, which means word. I haven't got a word yet for Xi. I'll keep looking. Uranos, I don't remember what that means. Pater, father. I haven't got a word for Rho yet. Sarx, which means flesh. Time, which means honor. Huus. There's actually a H sound on it, but I haven't marked that there because they don't have a letter for H. It's a breathing symbol. It's like an apostrophe over the letter. Huus, which means sun. And then phone, which means noise or sound. Christos, which is where we get our word Christ. And then sukas, which means soul. I think it literally means breath, if I remember correctly. Whereas pneumatos means wind or spirit. And then we have the letter omega. And this is a good one to remember by remembering that Jesus is the Alpha, the first letter, and the last letter, Omega. So you always finish with Omega. That's how I remember that. Alpha and Omega. Omega is the last letter. Oh, that's the other thing that I didn't mention. I got to tau and then I got distracted. We did upsilon, but we've got phi, kim, psi. So once again, you've got three letters in a row that have the same ending, just like up here you had zeta, eta, theta. I think if you just memorize it like that, zeta, eta, theta. So you get your first five letters, which more or less line up with the English alphabet, and then zeta, eta, theta, and then it jumps to the I. You skip over everything else in between. Jump from E to I with those three inserted, and then go from I down to U with the changes, things dropped and added, and then these three, phi, chi, psi, and then omega. And there's your 24 letters. That's the other thing that I should have mentioned, is there are 24 letters, so 2 less than the English alphabet. We have lots of extra letters that are useless, but they do have 2 extra vowels operating as letters. Yeah, that's just the way it is. So just remember 24 letters for the Greek alphabet. If you're going through trying to remember the Greek alphabet and you're counting them off on your fingers, maybe that's a good way to remember things as well, is to put them on your fingers and put each letter on a finger as you go through. Can be very helpful. I don't have anything else to add at the moment. Kevin, how's it going? No, Kevin must be away from his keyboard, or he's forgot that he's muted. Sorry, I went out to get food earlier and I haven't finished it. So forgive me while I do a little bit of eating. Oh, the other thing that, as an introduction to Greek, so my purpose for learning Greek is not so that I can visit Greece. That may happen, but my purpose for learning Greek, as should be clear by now, is to read the Bible. If that's what interests you as well in studying Greek, and that's what this is about. I'm not teaching you modern Greek. I'm not teaching you how to have conversational Greek in Greece. I can't do that, and have no interest in doing that. If you want to learn that, that's somewhere else. I'm doing this so that we can learn biblical Greek together. So to that end, let me suggest another resource that I highly recommend. It's called eSword. So there it is on your screen. In 1 John chapter 2, let's turn over to John chapter 1 actually. And there it is in English in the King James, and here it is in Greek. There's all with all of the breathing marks and I don't know what they're called, those other things. Here it is without them. So if you want to learn Greek the way that I'm teaching it without all of those extra marks, we can add those marks in later, but I don't know enough about them to teach that. I'm just teaching the basic letters. And NRK ein hologos, kai or ki hologos, ein proston theon, kai theos, ein hologos. You can download this program for free. You can download this Bible for free on eSword. I will give you the link in the chat. And sounds like Kevin's back. G'day, mate.
Yep, sorry about that.
Right.
Were you trying to talk to me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I've run out of things to say until I realised, tell people about eSword. That's another excellent resource to learn Greek. Biblical Greek.
Yeah.
So I was going to throw it over to you so that you can chat. I need to eat.
Well, I really don't have much to contribute about Greek at the moment. I don't know a lot about it.
Well, tell people your story. You're learning Greek. Why? How long?
Well, not that long. I don't really know much. I don't even know the entire alphabet. But
So
I was just learning it because
you've just started.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to be able to check our translations to make sure that they're accurate. I mean, it's nice if you can read the original language for yourself. Mostly, there's a few passages that it'd be nice to have cleared up, like Acts 2:38. It's just nice to be able to read it for yourself.
Yeah, things that are difficult to understand.
Yeah.
Things that seem like contradictions or that they contradict other passages. Things
Right.
that you're not sure which way that we should understand it, even when they're not contradictions. That can be difficult. Yep.
Right.
And how's it going so far, learning Greek?
I mean, I haven't really started, to be honest with you. I learned like the first couple.
So I just want you to share stuff because there's going to be other people with in the same situation. So people don't feel like.
So the Greek.
Oh wow, Graham's been learning it for 30, 40 years. Look at all those things he knows. I'll never get there. I want us to be, to see that we're all at different places. Yes, I've been learning for 30, 40 years, but I struggle with it.
Hello, Alec. How you doing? Privet. I don't know how to say your name, but hello.
Well, I've gone with impressive.
Okay. So one of the
That's
most
what it looks
confusing
like.
things so far in my limited, I mean, very limited study of Greek, very limited, is the thing that looks like a letter V isn't actually a V. I think it has an N sound.
Yep, that's the new, the
Yeah,
lowercase new.
yeah, and that's confusing because when I see it in my mind, I want to pronounce it as a V, like the V, but it's like no, 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 no. you know. And we do have
Hey, there's
Charles in the chat.
Charles.
What's up, Charles? You're the man for this.
Let's see if Charles wants to join us. I don't know what you've listened to so far, Charles,
Oh, yeah,
and what you
Charles is
think.
the Greek guy.
Anything that you disagree with? Anything you want to add?
Awesome. Yeah, he's coming in. Cool.
Oh, this is the other thing. I don't know if I showed you this, but I've started to collect a database, if you will. It's in spreadsheet form, but essentially it's a flat database of words, particularly nouns, because I thought learning nouns might be the easiest way, for me at least. Learning nouns would be easier than trying to learn verbs or other things. And you start to get a picture. You can quickly, oh, that's the word Jesus. Good. I know you can start to see what's happening in a verse a bit quicker. G'day, Charles.
Hello, how are y'all?
Good. And Donnie's in the chat.
My
and g'day, Alec.
Yes, he
my
is.
wife wants to come in. She knows the Greek alphabet. Let's see if I can. How do I
How are you, Donnie?
get the links for her?
Copy and paste it off the top of the page there.
Oh,
URL
okay, that works.
on Chrome. Yep.
So here's the sheet that I've done up with the alphabet. So uppercase, lowercase, the pronunciation, what the letter sounds like as a general rule, and then the name of the letter in English. And I can make that available to people if I have their email address. If anybody wants that, just let me know. And I've also got this list where I've got a list of words that start with that letter of the Greek alphabet. I've got a couple of gaps, but that might be useful for people.
Okay, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm here, Charles.
Graham, can you pull up John 1 again?
Yes.
Kevin, let's do what we were doing separately, offline
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. All right. If you can see the first thing, read the first word.
Gin.
Yes, in. Good. And what's in mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah. What does the Greek word in mean?
I don't know.
It means in. In means in. That one's easy to remember.
Okay.
That's one of the easiest words.
All right. Next word.
I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Okay. Which letter seems to be you don't recognize? Which one do you not recognize?
I don't remember the P sound or the X sound.
All right. The P is a row. Okay. I'm gonna I would if I could draw. Let me share my No, I can't draw. How can I do this? I
You
wanted to
share
show
your-
you. Have you ever heard of the key row? You ever heard of that term before?
Kiro? No.
Okay, the key row was an early Christian symbol made from the CH symbol, the key, and the row, and it was a symbol for Christ. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You see that symbol right there?
So it looks like a P with a cross on it, with an
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
it, but that P is actually the Greek letter rho.
Okay.
So put out of your mind that it's P. This
Yeah.
is R.
Row. Yeah, and it's see because it's the first two letters of Christ. Kilo. Christos is
Of
the Greek word
Christos,
for
yeah.
Christ.
So it's K and R. Christos. Hope you don't mind me adding my thoughts as well, Charles.
No, of course not. Janet said her phone won't allow her to come in. So I don't know why. I've never connected to StreamYard on a phone before, so
So you've got to give it permission to audio, at least audio. You don't have to give it permission for video.
okay.
But I don't know. It depends on I don't know what else it could be on her phone, but
Yeah. Well, she's in Hong Kong too, so
okay. There's a
the-
couple of steps to go through.
All right, so the second word. Now that you know that's a R, what do you think's going on there, Kevin? We actually just talked about the third letter of that word as well in the key row.
Yeah, I understand the P is a R, but
Okay, it's
So you know the
it's-
first letter, Kevin.
yeah, it's an A.
Yep.
It's alpha.
And then R.
so there's a rule for syllabifying. In other words, breaking things down into syllables, and it's one vowel or diphthong per syllable. Okay, we're not talking about diphthongs right now. So what you do see here is you have alpha, which is a vowel. So, and then eta is your other vowel. So the way you would say this is RK. But the key is that you don't. I know it's hard because we're live. The key is that you can't worry about making mistakes. All right, this is inductive. And you
why does the X and the N make a K sound?
Well, because the N is called an eta. Okay. RK. So so the CH with the eta makes the K sound.
Okay.
RK.
Yeah, so that's the letter eta, the lowercase eta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the sorority Iota Pi.
Yeah.
Then you got
And then
Kappa Gamma.
You've got eta again. And then you remember this letter, Kevin?
What, the alpha?
This one,
Oh yeah, that's an N sounding.
that's N. So that's pronounced N, and this is pronounced
Can
Ain. So that's
Ain.
the A, the eta. So RK, N, RK, Ain.
okay.
So what do you remember from those three 3 words, Kevin.
So the V is the N. So it's N. The P is an R. Then the X and the N together is A. You said
K. So that's RK.
right. So that's NRK, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Ain. NRK, Ain, Ho. That's actually pronounced so it's just the letter O, but if we add the breathing marks, it's actually Ho. But
Yeah, I don't see a God in that translation there.
no, it's not. But yeah, don't stress about just O or Ho. Works for now. So
Okay.
that's always the short. So it looks like our O, but it's always the short O, which is O. And then, do you want to have a stab at this next word? Since we did this the other day.
Well,
See
since
if
I know what verse, I'd be cheating. I know what it is.
that's all right. That's okay, because this is how you remember things.
Right.
So you can see that and remember that that's logos because you know we're in John 1:1,
Right.
and that's okay because that'll help you remember it. Anytime you're struggling and you go, is that logos or not? You can go and look at John 1:1 and go, oh yeah, that's logos.
So
So
the
that
A
first-
is the L sound.
That first letter is actually lambda.
Yes,
We got okay.
that's the lowercase lambda. Here's the uppercase lambda. They've capitalized it in this.
Gotcha. The upside
in
down
this
V.
version.
See, that's where. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
The K becomes interesting.
And that's the gamma. Is that middle letter is the G. So NRK Ain Hologos. And then Charles, how do you say this one?
It's you are touch it, highlight it or whatever, so I know what you're pointing at.
That one,
Kai,
Kai.
because
Because some people tell me it should be pronounced key.
yeah, I pronounce things like a Texan, Texan Greek. So yeah, if you meet people and they want to make an argument for that, that's no problem. I pronounce it so that it's easier to memorize, but yeah,
The reason I go with Chi on it is because of the Greek letters in the sororities and fraternities.
Yeah,
That's Chi right there. Yeah.
I know, which we've essentially learned from Erasmus, who didn't know how to speak Greek. He only knew how to read it. Like, he knew it from books.
Nice. Book learning.
Anyway,
Sounds like an evolutionist.
whatever works for people.
yeah.
So, Kevin, what do you remember so far? And it's okay if you don't remember. Just we'll keep working on it. This is how we learn.
Yes. So the alpha is pronounced as the A. The P letter, which I forget what it's called.
Row.
The row.
Yeah. Row. Yeah. I know the V is an N sound. I know when the X and the N together, you said it makes an A.
K.
Okay.
Or
Well, yeah,
K
that's
if you
not an
prefer.
X. That's a CH or a K.
Well, it's written CH when we write it in English because it's the K,
yeah.
guttural K sound. So RK.
So you can think of it like a K if you want.
Yeah. So until you get the guttural, just go with K
Okay.
or the K, and then that's an A sound. That's eta. So NRK Ain Hologos Kai, and then we'll go back to that.
And the O is just you said it's Ho?
Ho in this instance, yeah, but or ho works for now.
The rough breathers are not showing. So
No,
that's what
this one-
makes it the H sound.
This one shows the breathing mark. So that
Yeah.
little thing above it. So let me highlight that one. So what I've highlighted there in green, that little mark above the O makes it a H sound in front of it. So that's essentially their H sound, the H for H. But don't worry too much about that now. If you just say it as oh, that's okay for now. So en arche o logos, en arche ein o logos, or hologos.
I'm just writing some of this stuff down. So,
Okay, good.
So it's kind of the saying before. So if you read it, because everybody knows John 1:1, but if you go with the words, the last part of it is, and Word was the God, right?
Well, there's the and.
Right.
And God
was the Word.
was the Word. But the way that we say that in English isn't really what they're saying in Greek. What they're saying is God was the Word, but you can also switch it around and say the Word was God.
Yeah, I mean, both mean the same thing because it's making the comparison of just the logos. So basically, the logos being the Word, or
Yes.
logic, or what created the world was God spoke in the beginning. God said, "Let there be light." Right?
Yeah, and Charles, if you want to comment on that phrase,
Yeah, please
as well,
do, Charles.
you know,
Feel free.
You know Greek.
Yeah.
Well,
you know Greek better than I do.
Well, the issue is that the way you know what the part of speech is or the function of the word is it will change its form. So when you see logos, the stem is loga, okay? But the sigma at the end lets you know it's the nominative. It's the subject, okay? But the thing is that in this example you have two nominatives. You have logos and you have theos. Well, so one of them is the subject nominative, okay, and the other one is the predicate nominative. And you have the word was, which is ain. The way you know which is the subject is the subject has a definite article here. Now, there's a pecking order where you would deal with situations whether it's a proper name or a pronoun or things like that. There's a pecking order for determining what the subject is. But in this example right here, logos is the subject. Nobody disputes that. The Jehovah Witnesses say in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was a God. Okay, so they even take logos as the subject. But the problem is that they're thinking, or they're arguing, however you want to put it, that because there's no definite article before theos, then they're translating it as a God instead of making it God. And the issue is that Greek will drop an article sometimes to emphasize the qualitative nature. In other words, it's possibly pointing out to the essence of God. So what you have is that the Word was with God and the Word was God in essence, or the quality that is associated with Him. And so Mounce explains, and I think it's actually Wallace that he's quoting, why it can't read other ways because it could lead to other heresies and stuff like that. But the short answer to it is that Greek is an inflected language, so the word order is not going to be in the same order. You got to put it into SVO order in English, and so the subject is at the end of the sentence right here, and the object, or what's actually called the predicate nominative, is thrown forward, theos, which is emphasizing the quality because of the lack of definite article. Did you understand what I said?
I understood
So-
that. Believe it or
Okay.
not, I did.
All right.
Yeah, can you give examples of what subject means? So English examples, so people who don't know what subject and object is.
All right. Yeah. Kevin is learning Greek. Kevin is the subject. What he's doing is learning, and the object is Greek. So, a subject is the way I was taught as a little kid is it's a person, place, or thing or idea, basically.
So the subject is the person or thing doing whatever the verb is.
Yeah. Well, if it's a active verb, yes. If it's
Yeah.
a passive verb, it's being done. But yes.
Yeah, and the subject is what the action is being done to. So Kevin, the action is learning. Kevin is the actor. He's the one doing the learning. And what he is learning is Greek. So Greek is what the learning is being done to, if you want to understand it that way. That's not exactly, but so that people understand. If I throw a ball to someone, I'm the person throwing, and the ball is the object there, isn't it? The ball's being thrown.
Yeah.
Graham throws a ball. The ball is the object. It's being thrown. And I'm the person throwing it. So I'm the subject.
And then would be the passive would be the other person then, right?
Yeah, it's being thrown.
Did you say
to, yes.
Steve or Kevin or whoever?
That's-
Yeah.
Are they? So if I'm throwing it to someone, they're a secondary object or something? I can't remember.
Indirect object. So if you-
Indirect. That's it.
yeah,
That's the one. Indirect object.
Indirect
yes.
object.
Yeah, that's the dative
So direct
case in
object
Greek.
is what it's the throwing is happening to the ball. The indirect object is another player in this thing that's happening, another person or thing that is indirectly involved. Sort of. Yeah.
So Charles, do me a favor and just slowly read John 1:1 as it is right there in the Greek.
All right, but I'll do it. But keep in mind that I'm not one of those. Oh, you got to pronounce things all correctly.
I
don't
understand
do
it, but it's
All
going
right.
to still get me on the right track.
How fast you want me to read it?
Just just take your time reading it.
Okay. In arche ein halagas kai halagas ein proston theon kai theos ein halagas.
Oh wow.
So that was breaking up a little bit for me. I don't know whether it's
Yeah, it
internet
was.
issues. Yeah,
I still
okay.
got the-
So
I still
Charles,
got the cadence though.
can you do it again a little bit slower?
Yeah. In arche ein halagas kai halagas ein proston theon kai theos ein halagas.
There we go. That was clear.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
very
doesn't get
good.
much more simpler than that because once you know the English and you follow it, there's a couple of, it's kind of back to front on a couple of things. But the way I see it is it's comparing the word to God as equal.
Mm.
Well, when you say the word, it's comparing the God to equals. Explain what you mean by that.
Okay, so they're both the same. So in the beginning was
Uh-huh.
the Word, and the Word was God in English, right? So it's a comparative of that, but this takes it to a different level by that last part that I first asked about, the way it is with the theos, and then it says the logos afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of takes it puts it in the proper order that, the English would be, right? And then it flips it in that last part of it, kind of saying it again, but in reverse. So that makes them both equal. It's kind of like I say, the ball is red, go get me the red ball.
Well,
yeah.
there is something different here. It's a distinction because see, in the beginning,
Mhm.
was the word, right? So we're talking about the word.
Right.
And the word was with God. So
Right.
so you have the concept of association here. And then it says, and the word was God. So what that's letting us know is that while the word is not God the Father,
Right.
he has the same essence as the Father.
Yeah. You
And
just
they're
explained
in
what I meant
equal
before.
in
Yeah.
association.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's not like a CEO and then a vice president type situation. They
Well,
both hold the same office.
subordination is not taught from this passage. There are other
Correct.
passages that can be used to argue subordination, but then you have to evaluate, well, is that eternal subordination or did that subordination occur during the hypostatic union?
And I
You
know
know?
exactly what you're talking about. It's
Okay.
like when Jesus is saying, I go to the Father, so it's kind of a subordinate while he's here on earth.
Well, I mean, the
Yeah.
main passage I would go for a subordination is where it says that the head of woman is man, and the head of man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. So
Right.
if
Okay.
you look at that, I'm a complementarian, and so I believe that husband and wife, man and woman, they're both made in God's image. Adam and Eve were both given the responsibility to rule, but yet they're to complement each other. And Adam is the spiritual head. So a similar relationship that exists between the woman and the man in the passage that I just referenced is a similar relationship as the son between the father.
Right.
So there's equality and distinction, and there is hierarchy, but it's not a inferiority aspect to it.
Yeah. One thing I can
Absolutely.
never. Sorry. Go
Submission
ahead.
does not. No, I was just going to affirm submission does not mean inferiority.
Right.
That's a separate issue. And this is one of
Yeah.
the things that really annoys me about this conflation of equality and sameness. Men and women are equal. Therefore, women should do everything that men do. No. Hang on. Equality and sameness, that's two separate issues. No. Yes, we are equal, but we're not the same.
Right.
And father and son. So,
I have to drop out for a minute, but I'll come right back. All right. I got to talk to my wife.
So
Right.
let's apply this to father and son. It's not the same, exactly the same, but we've got to be careful not to conflate separate issues. So father and son are equal. They are one in essence, but they are two separate persons and have different roles. And the father operates like a father does, and the son is sent by the father, but that does not mean he's inferior in any way whatsoever. It does not imply anything about his divinity. It is just the role that he performs. And so I want people to understand this.
Yeah.
Now, men and women, we don't have exactly the same nature. So there's a bit more difference between men and women than there is between the Father and the Son. They are both God. Whereas men and women, yes, they're both human, but one is male and the other is female. And there's a bit more difference between the two. But anyway, just
Graham,
that topic came up, so I just wanted to
Yeah, I was
address
gonna
it.
that
say,
just totally reminded me. You can still find it on YouTube, but it's how women's brains are wired. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Oh, it's really, really good. It is so good. It tells you how a woman's brain thinks versus a man's brain.
And of course, men and women aren't robots either. So not all men are the same, and there's only, this is exactly always how a man will operate, and this is exactly how a woman will always operate. Some women do have, do step outside that stereotype. There's there's a breadth between men and women, but we are still on average different.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, just some downtime, just you can just type it in, and it'll be how women's brains are wired. And it's a really good video. It kind of explains a lot.
Anyway, let's get back to Greek. We get distracted so easily.
It's
I didn't
okay,
do
we're
it.
learning Greek. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, for all the Steven Anderson hate and all that stuff, the one video that he did where he was actually in Greece, and he had the actual the Greek gospel, basically the New Testament in Greek, and he was just stopping random people that were Greek, and they totally understood it, even in the new Greek, because they always go back to this, what the old Greek meant. No, they totally understood what it said. There are a few things that were different, but they got it. They said, "Oh, okay, I get it. This is where it's supposed to be." But boom, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. So Greeks don't speak, as a general rule, they don't speak exactly how the Bible is written, but they can understand it. For two reasons. It's not that different from modern Greek. One, two, most of them, it's part of their culture. They go to the Greek Orthodox Church, they hear Greek, they're taught Greek, so they learn what the Bible is teaching. Now, of course, they learn it the way that their church teaches them to understand it, but modern Greek is not far removed from biblical Greek. G'day, Jamie.
G'day.
Hey, Jamie, what's up?
Hey,
You
Jamie.
sleep with your boots on, bro?
No, not last night.
Good. I've felt that way myself.
Hey, Jamie, your new profile picture is much better than the other one you had with your hand over your eye. I like your new one.
Oh, yeah. It's just I got focus problems with my eyes, so which should be fixed now, but I had a I needed to get new contact lenses.
So we were attempting to go over some Greek and learn some Greek here. Did you want to join us for that?
Do you know Greek, Jamie?
I know
where
Greek.
are you? Sorry?
Sorry about that. What did you say?
Do you know Greek? What do you know?
No.
Okay.
Graham,
the
document you shared with me the other day, the alphabet, maybe you can put that on screen, and maybe we can just go back over the basic letters real quick and how to pronounce each one.
Yeah. So I just want to make one more point about modern Greek versus biblical Greek, which is now 2,000 years old. In English, if you go back 1,000 years, you can't read English. That's how much the language has changed in its writing, and you wouldn't be able to understand someone who was speaking English, because it wouldn't even be English. It'd be Anglo-Saxon, or goodness knows, I don't even know what it would have been called. English didn't even exist 1,000 years ago in the way that what we call English. And go back 2,000 years, even more different again. But Greek hasn't changed anywhere near as much for a couple of reasons. One, the Bible, the New Testament was written in Greek. Greek was a universal language for the Greek and then the Roman Empire for quite a long time. A lot of philosophy, a lot of learning was done in Greek. Universities have used Greek. Heaps of books are written in Greek, heaps of things like that. And Greece has maintained its culture and its language in a far more steady way, I think, for a large reason because of the Bible. Once a language is translated in the Bible, it tends to be preserved a lot better. And of course, Greek, the New Testament was written in Greek. So I think those are some of the things that we need to remember. So this idea that, it's all been lost and we can't be sure, I don't think that's anywhere near as true as some people like to believe. I think there is a little bit of difficulty in understanding some things, but it's not as hard as people think that it is. The Holy Spirit, when God said he would preserve his word, that included preserving the language. He's preserved Hebrew, even though they were dispersed for nearly 2,000 years. And he's done the same thing with Greek. He's preserved Greek enough that it's not that difficult to access biblical Greek. not like it would be with many other languages. What percentage of the population of Judea was speaking Greek during Jesus' ministry? I suspect, I don't know, because I haven't studied it, but my impression from people who've told me about this is most of them would have at least had some understanding of Greek.
Yeah. That's what I heard too. But they do speak. I heard they also speak Aramaic probably too, right?
I suspect that when Jesus was ministering, he didn't speak Greek much. I suspect that he spoke Aramaic mostly. Sometimes Hebrew, maybe sometimes Greek. Well, sometimes it would have been Greek. But the Bible was then recorded in Greek. So either things were written down in Aramaic and then the Holy Spirit inspired it to be written into Greek, or whatever.
Is some of the sayings, sorry, Alec, just real quick, isn't it because some of the they can analyze the text and the original like saying or whatever is obviously Aramaic,
is an Aramaic, yeah,
right, which is much closer to Hebrew, I guess.
Yeah. Aramaic is a mix of Babylonian and Hebrew or something like that.
Correct.
Syrian. Yeah.
Babylonian.
Yeah.
Because that's most of the Talmud is not written in actual Hebrew. It's like Daniel, Book of Daniel is written in Aramaic.
So here's the Greek alphabet. This column is the capital letter. This column is the lowercase letter, just like we have in English, uppercase and lowercase. This is how to pronounce it. And this is the name of the letter in English. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Notice I'm saying A for that E, because it's actually this letter here, which is called eta. And for some reason, we've chosen E in English because we thought that it was eta. But I'm reliably informed it's actually eta. It should be pronounced A. This is the short A, the or R, or or R sound. And then B is what I'm going to stick with, although some people say that it's actually Veta 2,000 years ago. And then the hard G, gamma, delta, epsilon, the short E, zeta, eta, theta. And this is the breathed TH, not the but the th. So theta. Theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi. So it's always the same as our X, but when we put X at the beginning of a word, we usually pronounce it xylophone, same as Z or Z, but it's not that way in Greek. In Greek, it's x. Always.
Don't say the next one. Don't say the next one.
Omicron. Yes. Now, notice it's not Omnicron. Don't make that mistake. People are calling this thing Omnicron. It's not. It's Omicron. Nor is it Omricon, as I used to mispronounce it. So just try and get that right. Omicron. And of course, it's helpful, for all of the problems that we've got in the world. It's helpful that we're being taught this word if we read it carefully. Omicron. So that is an advantage. Always look for the silver lining. There's always good to be found if you want to find it. P, Rho, Sigma. So I'm pronouncing that P because the iota is not I in pronunciation. It's I or E. So P, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, and Omega. So once again, a difficult one to say at the beginning of a word for English speakers, but it's Psi.
Yeah, I was actually taught that it was Phi, Chi, Psi, then Omega.
Yes, Phi, I know. So Eta and Phi, but I'm reliably informed that's not how they're pronounced. That was never how Greek speakers have never pronounced them that way. That was made up by Erasmus about 1500 AD. So 1500 years removed from the Bible by time, and he didn't learn Greek from a Greek speaker. He learned it from books, and so just made up pronunciations, and he got some of it wrong. But there are people that pronounce it that way, Phi, Chi, or Chi, Psi. fine if that's what
So
you
what-
want to do.
What's
I
the
think
correct?
that's wrong,
What's
but
the correct version then?
Phi, chi, psi.
Phi, key, like the guttural. That's like the Hebrew
That's
version.
the
right?
guttural k. Yeah, like loch, the Scottish loch or the guttural. So there's a lot of different gutturals. This is the guttural k. Nebuchadnezzar.
Right. So, did you look at that thing that I sent Nicholas, or did he mention that about the thing where Jesus says he doesn't die or whatever in the Greek or something? Because I can
No.
kind of follow it when someone explains what's going on in the Greek and they show it like diagrammed or whatever. It makes sense to me. But I wondered if he showed you that.
No, I haven't seen that.
You know that text where Jesus says, like, it's kind of like a parallelism where he says, he who lives and believes in me shall never die, or and then he who
Yeah.
lives, all that, and then anyway.
Yep. Well, interested in doing that sometime. So back to this second last letter, psi. This is the symbol for psychology because that's where we get. It's psychos in the Greek is soul. So psychology is the study of the soul, but in English we don't pronounce it psychology. We just say psychology, and there's this redundant p that we don't pronounce. Well, I've never heard anyone pronounce it, but in Greek it would be psychos. And the reason that it's psy in English is because it's this letter here, upsilon, which looks like a y in that form there. But it's actually psychos, not psychos.
PHS, or what is it?
Well,
I
it's
thought
the
it was-
psi upsilon, and then it would be chi,
Oh,
and then it's the eta. Would be how it's spelt in Greek, and we can look that up. You can find that in
that's for soul or spirit. I forget.
that's soul.
Right. The psyche.
Spirit
not
is
psyche. What'd you say?
spirit is pn, which
Oh yeah,
is
pneuma, right? Pneuma.
pneuma. Yeah.
How do you say cool whip?
Whip. That's right. You got to pronounce your H's in Greek, not
It's
like
where-
in English where you ignore them.
Yeah.
Why do we write letters with W's in them, but we don't pronounce them? I don't. Just being silly now.
That's where we get
Um,
pneumatic from
you-
because air hose, pneumatic, done by
Yes.
air.
The Australians really took letters out and took them out. But
I blame the
No, you
Aussies and the
guys did.
Scots.
It was the
Oh.
Americans that took letters out.
I
No,
blame
I
the
mean, you
Aussies
don't
and the
pronounce
Scots. Hootman.
Hey, you group of heretics, let's get back on topic here.
Heretics? Who are you calling heretics?
I never had a hairy tick in all my life.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, you can keep reading John if you want.
Yeah, sure. Pull up a Greek word with these letters. We just see if I can sound it out. Hold on, before you do, real quick. Let me just see. So the kappa, yeah, that's easy. That's the K. Yeah, I got that. So that's the
Well, if you want, there you go.
K. See the
chapter?
ones that get me. You see how the mu here? It's like the uppercase is an M, but the lowercase is a U. That really throws me off.
Well, it's a U with a tail on the front because there is the other U, which is upsilon, which is actually a U. So
the
there's
other
that
you
one.
is probably your soul. Never mind. Or it could be-
Jamie,
What is the other you?
that one up there that I'm highlighting on the screen right now.
That's the
Upsilon. There's upsilon,
I
in
see that
green.
one.
and there is mu.
I don't see. You just okay. Never mind. I'm sorry.
There's mu in blue.
I don't
see
see
it?
blue. I don't see blue. I see Greek docs 7 through 14.
Oh, sorry. I haven't got my grr. Thank you. There we go. So green is upsilon, and the blue, or the greeny blue, the brighter blue, brighter color, is the mu.
Well, see,
So-
I don't. Do we really need the Greek eye of the Holy Spirit? People say.
Well, do you need the Bible
Exactly right.
that was inspired by
Graham,
the Holy
So
Spirit?
right there, Matthew 5:2. So that first word that's pronounced K or K.
So most people pronounce it Kai, but I'm informed that it actually should be Key, but I'm happy with either Kai or Key.
Okay.
That's the CHI, right?
So it looks like Kai. So K. No. This is the Kappa. So Kappa
Oh, my bad.
Alpha Iota. So in English we would say AI as I. So I'm happy if you go with that. Kai.
So the I there, which really isn't an I, but so it's pronounced as like a hard E, right? Like a E.
Some people tell me that yes, the long E. It really should be pronounced key, and that's how modern Greek speakers,
Oh, okay.
they still have this word and they pronounce it as key, not Kai.
So I'll pronounce it as like a KI sound, like a key, or a CHI, a key.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Pick one of them and then stick with it, but know why.
So the
you're
K is
pronouncing it.
a key sound, and then the A is obviously an A sound, and then
Yeah.
the I at the end is the I, right? Or like the
That's
hard.
the Greek New Textus Receptus, the Greek New Testament Textus Receptus.
This is Textus Receptus. So
Actually, I think I have.
so that letter at the end is not an I, it's iota. So it's pronounced either I or E is that letter on its own. But when the two are put together, some people say that this should be pronounced I because they're together. But I've got other people telling me that it should be E. So
No, it really should be E, but I mean, I say Kai, even though I know that. I mean, and the reason I do that is because in teaching, and that's why Erasmus was his approach is used, is in
Yes.
teaching and helps
It's
in
easier.
pedagogy. Yeah.
Yeah, because down here you've also got an E sound, basileia.
Yeah.
And it's like, the epsilon iota is also pronounced E. And if you're going to pronounce AI as E as well, and iota is also pronounced E more or less, and then there's other sounds pronounced E, it's like,
Right.
well, how am I ever going to learn which E is, what the spelling is for that E?
Yeah, and I cut my teeth on Mounce's grammar, and when he talks about diphthongs,
Yes.
he says I'll ate oil and sauerkraut in his soup, and it causes a feud. So I like aisle, like an aisle that you walk down the aisle, and
Yes.
A as in the letter 8, EIGHT, So
Yes, EI, yep.
so that it's funny. I'll listen to Daniel Wallace, and he'll say ice instead of ace, even though I learned ace, And I don't think it matters, honestly. But there are
Well,
people
for
out there
learning
that
it,
are
yeah, you
yeah.
need to know, but it doesn't matter what you use. You just need to know what you're using. And when other
Right.
people say it, what they mean. Oh, so they pronounce it that way. Okay, well, I just need to remember
Yeah.
other people pronounce. That's why we need to know that there's different pronunciations out there.
Yeah.
Um,
The
but
rule
yeah, just
is
pick
you
one.
follow your teacher, so whatever
But
go
but
by your
Graham,
teacher, and then whenever you learn what you have from your teacher, if you want to go with some other stuff, then go with that. But do what your teacher said. Don't fight your teacher, and then that'll help you a whole lot.
What's that uppercase E with the extra flourishes on it there? That looks like the Islamic thing for Allah. On
It's not. It's a kasi. It's not an uppercase E. It's a
Right.
Oh,
kasi.
that one.
It's a
That's the
kasi
X.
horse.
Yeah.
Isn't that related to the thing in one of the manuscripts that the people say it means 616 and it's
You're talking about the mark of the beast. Yeah. Yep.
sorry.
yeah, but Graham, when you say tomato, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tomato. That's right. Yep. It reminds me. Sorry, just got to tell this story. It reminds me of Ray Comfort saying when he first went to America, because in New Zealand and at Australia, we tend to just go when it's got er at the end. Like Americans would say butter, but we just say butter,
Yes.
butter. We don't even pronounce the T as very hard. It's closer to a D. And Americans might make it a D as well, but they go butter, and then it's like they roll their R's, and we don't. It's just butter. We're done. That's enough.
Yeah.
And so he goes to America and he's asking for butter, and they're going, "What?" And he's in Texas. I want some butter, please. What? And so then he starts miming it, and they say to him, "Oh, you want some butter?"
Yeah, butter.
Butter, whereas we say butter.
Everything in Australia is shortened, like Christmas Prezi. You got
Prezi.
Prezi?
Prezi. Yeah, Prezi. Yeah.
Prezi, yeah.
And you got the boot for the trunk.
And the mozzies.
Mozzies, of course. Yeah. Who wants to say all those syllables? Mosquito. No, it's a mozzie.
Yeah, it's a
Quick.
mozzie.
Quick and easy.
Well, that's
That's why
just
you can conversation with an Aussie lasts about 2 minutes. That's it. Done.
That's dumb. What is
We've got
a
to get on
mozzie?
with it. We haven't got time. There's important work to be done.
Yes, let's
Call
do
it a
that.
skeeter then. Mosquito or a skeeter?
Yeah, there you go. Americans do it too, skeeters. We go the other way. So you abbreviate the second, you keep the middle bit of the word and turn it into skeeter, whereas we keep the first bit and then just abbreviate out the rest. Mozzie. And notice it's not Aussie, it's Aussie, Australian. And for some reason, the S turns into a Z. It's just, it flows out better. It's easier to say Aussie.
Yeah.
We're lazy about some things. Anyway, Kai Anoixus would be how I'd pronounce it. To stoma. Now, stoma, that means mouth, if I remember correctly. So someone's using their mouth to speak, I suspect. Autu, that means self. It usually means him, if I remember correctly. Edidasken, that sounds like teach to me. And autus, legon. I think that's speak, if I remember correctly. Makarioi, I think, is witness. Hey, this is the Beatitudes. Anyway, no, let's not worry about meaning for now. You can look it up yourself. Makarioi, oi, patokes. So there's a P and then a T. Patokesoi. Yes. And there you go, Jamie. There's pneumati. Pneumati.
All right, Graham, put a short word up on the screen for me, something I could try to sound out. Let me see if I can do something here.
Well, let's go back to John 1:1. How's that sound?
Well, no, make it a passage. I don't want to cheat.
John 11.
okay.
John 11.
John 11. So what do you mean by short word? You mean like that one there?
Yeah. All right. So the A is exactly how it sounds. That's the pi symbol. So that's a P, and the O is a th. So that's a apth. Apth.
No, that's the Omicron. So you're thinking of the O with a line through it for the th.
Oh, you're right. So that's a ah.
So there's the th there.
Yeah. Oh man.
That one's the th.
Okay.
So that's o. Apo.
All right, so that's
Or apple.
so that's off or arth.
Apple.
Oh yeah, because that's the P.
Which word are you on?
So optha. Yeah, optha.
That one.
Yeah, optha.
No, you're still trying to do the th. It's apo. Apple.
How would you transliterate it? APO?
Alpha, P, O. So A, P, O. APO.
Like
But
apple
it's the
without
short
the
O.
L.
Apple.
Oh. Okay.
Well, short A and short O. Apple.
Did you want to try
Do the
one,
next-
Jamie? Are you confident?
No,
to try
no,
one?
I don't know it enough. I
Do
know
the next-
some, but
Kevin, do the next short one.
All right. Can you highlight it? Which one do you want me to try?
This one.
So I'm not gonna
Actually,
lie to you. I forgot what sound the K looking word makes, or the K letter makes.
It's easy. Guess.
Oh, so it's
Same
just
as-
heck.
Ek. That's it. That's Ek.
Okay.
That one's really easy. This one's a little more difficult.
Yeah. So
Although
the T
the-
is a.
that's the only one that's tricky, really, is the middle letter.
N is a. That's a. Wait, the N makes a S sound, doesn't it?
okay. Yeah.
No, that's A. So taste. This is the T, and that's the S,
Well, I know that.
That's-
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah. and that's that A sound. So that's the letter eta, lowercase. So that's taste.
Okay. And yeah, and I know the S is an S. Well, it's kind
So
of.
try this one.
Which one? Oh. Okay, so that's. Is that Koinas or
Yeah, very good. Comb mace.
Comace?
Comace, or yeah. So kappa, omega, mu, eta, sigma. So k, o, m, a, s.
Wait, so why is the omega pronounced as an O there?
Omega is pronounced o, not o. So this is o,
So hard, like a hard O, like O.
the long o. Yes, o.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
And this is the short o, o.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
short o, o. This is the long o, o. Omega. So that's omega. This is omicron. Yes, Jamie, I'm saying omicron. Omicron.
Hard O.
Omicron. Omicron. We're learning Greek, people.
It's got the omega, delta omega version.
Okay. Oh.
So go ahead and shut me down, Fauci. You fake. Anyway,
Aryanism.
comace. So that would be comace. Try this one.
All right, so it's Comaos.
So this blue one, the
Yeah.
bright blue. So that's M, ma, and that's A, alpha. And then what's that letter?
That's the ah sound, right? Like the ah.
Rho, yep.
And then omega is a hard O, and then the S looking word is an S.
Hang on, where are you getting omega? This is omega back here.
Yeah, the W.
Yeah, but we're doing this one. We're doing the blue. The
Oh,
bright
I'm sorry.
blue.
On my screen, that looks like a W.
No.
It's like, oh, I see. Can you zoom it in a little? Yeah, there you go.
A lot. I can zoom in a lot.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely-
It's iota, alpha, whatever.
Yep. Iota, alpha, sigma.
Miriam. No. It's what was I gonna
Well, yes, it's a variation of that, Marius.
so that's an alpha.
Or so it's Mary, but Miriam. Yeah, whatever.
say? Are you talking about the mother of God?
No, the sister of Lazarus,
Oh, that's right, because we're in John 11.
John 11. And then down here you have it as Maria or Maria. So that is the same thing as Miriam. So the difference between Marius, so with the S on the end, so Charles mentioned earlier that it depends on whether something is an object or a subject or various other. They change how they spell it. So the ending tells you what function that person is playing in the sentence, what their relationship is to the verb and to the other nouns in the sentence. And we'll get into that later. Don't stress about that now. But
Why is there a definite article for names in both languages?
there isn't here.
But sometimes there is.
Sometimes,
we
correct.
don't know-
Sometimes.
Nobody knows why, right?
Why? Yeah. So in Greek, it's to emphasize that this person is the object of the sentence as a general rule.
Mm.
We'll get into that later. I don't know, but I'm sure that people do know, or at least they believe that they know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. It's in the Hebrew too, right? The same thing.
Yeah. Well, the definite article forms a different function in Greek than it does in English. There is some overlap, but there is difference between it in how they use it. So we've got Marius, and then what do we got here? What's this word?
I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was writing.
Let me
Kai.
make it yellow. This yellow one.
That's Kai.
That's Kai, which means
I have no idea.
and.
And
That's a good one to remember because you'll see it a lot. You might be able to figure it out from context, actually. So this is Marius or Mary. And then what's this word here? Oops. The next one after the Kai.
so it's Mary and
Laros.
I don't know, Graham.
M again.
It's an M.
Moo.
Moo.
So the same as the beginning of this word here. Look. So Marius, M. So Mu, Alpha, and Rho. So the first three letters are exactly the same. And then you have,
That's the
What's
T.
that?
The PH.
that's the th.
The-
So
the.
M-A-R-T-H.
Martha. Martha.
There you go, Martha.
But there's an S at the end.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Martha.
because well, that's Greek. That's Greek.
Marthos.
Get used to it. But in English, it'd be Martha. So
Okay.
Marthas in Greek, because of the form. So Marias is Mary or Maria, but it's in Greek. In this sentence, it's Marius, whereas down here it's Maria or Maria. So Marthas, Tais, which I believe is a form of the. And then what's
That's
this
the
word
definite
here?
article, right? That's it.
Let's-
Lazarus.
Let's really challenge you. What's this word in purple? I don't know if you can see it in purple. That might be too bright. Or
Me?
too dark, I mean.
Yeah, you kind of darkened it on there, but it's got
Well,
the
the problem is
omega in there. It's got the
Try
omega
that.
in there.
So the second letter, I don't know how to pronounce that.
That's D. It looks like a D, but
Okay.
with a funny tail at the top.
That's a calligrapher's D.
So tell me the letters you do know. and
So I
then
know
we'll
the
work on the
alpha, I
ones
know
you-
the omega, and the weird looking one there. I know, and the fourth letter over, I know it's pronounced as an L.
That's an
Oh.
L, yes. That is
And I
not
know
an
the last
omega,
one's
though.
an S.
Sorry, but that's not an omega.
What?
That is not an omega. I'll show you an omega again. There's an omega up there.
Oh,
That is not an omega.
I mean, it kind of looks the same. It kind of looks like a
Yeah,
W.
until you get used to it. Until you
Um,
get used to it, there is a similarity, but that's actually the phi. So that's the f, our F sound. So you've got alpha,
Yep.
delta, and then you know that one. I hope the third one.
Yeah, it's an E.
That's the E, yes, and then the L, and then
L.
the f, and then
Pho.
what's this? What's the second last letter?
That's a M.
No.
Huh. Huh.
That's ATA. That's
Adelaphus.
ATA. Here's
Adelphus.
your N down here. Looks
No, I
like a
said
V.
M. I said M.
No, so M is, where's M? There's your M.
Oh.
Maria and Martha.
Okay.
No, you're doing well. You are learning. Don't think you're not doing well. This is excellent. There's a lot of stuff to learn.
Pick on Alex for a moment. I'm gonna take notes. I'm writing that stuff down.
Fair enough. Okay, so what I'm getting
So,
out of
Alex,
this,
Alex,
yeah.
what have we got here on this?
so
What's
yeah,
this purple?
yeah, so I'm getting Adelphus out of that.
Adelphus, yes.
Yeah.
Adelphus,
What does that mean?
Adelphus. Brother.
Sister?
Brother. Yeah,
Brother.
Adelphus. You get it. Philadelphia. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
There
duh.
you go,
Love, yeah.
Philadelphia.
I was thinking,
brotherly
I
love.
Adelphus.
I was thinking
yeah.
of those the woman who they'd go to for because she lived by
Brothers.
in a cave or whatever. What's her name? Adelphi or whatever.
Oh, yes.
That's what I was thinking. I totally did miss the connection to the Philadelphia thing. The
Yeah.
Filio.
And then what do we got here with this last word, Alex?
I forget how you pronounce the second letter, but it's the alpha, then it's
Upsilon.
taste.
So it's our
Upsilon.
U. Just go oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
and-
it's ah or when combined together go ow.
oh. I'm being a monkey, bro. I'm being a monkey.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So oh, and then you got the tau. So
Yep.
T, and then the
Same as over
ace.
here.
Yeah.
Ace.
So taste.
Yeah, Altace.
Altace. Okay. So it's not an altace. It's not like an altos, like a breath mint. It's a
Outtaste.
okay. Altace. Okay.
Let's keep going.
Well, there's your lambda. So al.
Outtoast.
No, that's not lambda. So
That's
here's your
not-
lambda up here.
Who?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was the upside down.
No, that's the
V.
N. That's nu. So that's eta and nu. So the nu,
So-
the
so
lowercase
N, that's
nu
right,
looks like
N.
a V.
So it's N. Yeah. N.
So ain
Ain.
is that word. And then the next one,
That's your D again with the T sound,
Yeah.
right?
epsilon. So
Yeah.
de.
De. Okay.
Yep.
So it'd be N or un, then de.
Ain.
Ain. Okay. Ain then de.
Maria,
Ain de.
Maria and Martha.
Ain de Mapia,
Maria,
which is Maria.
A.
And then the N would just be the N again, right?
No, that's different.
No, that's
It'd be
A.
like
That's
A.
the
Okay.
eta.
A. Okay.
Eta.
Eta. And then we go with the ala. Oh gosh.
And that's the ps.
So,
That's
yeah,
the
the psi.
C.
Yeah, the C.
Yep.
So you got the A, and then you got
Alpha.
the alpha O, and then alpha
No,
again.
that's
So it's
sigma.
an OTA.
It's-
Sigma?
That's sigma. It's got the little tail on it.
I saw it. Okay.
So when
Just
a
sigma.
sigma is in the beginning or middle of a word, it looks like that. When it's at the
Okay.
end of a word, it looks like that. It's the only Greek letter that
Gotcha.
changes depending on where it is in the
So
word. So
it's a like an
when
S
it's-
sound.
when it's at the end, it looks like our S, sort of.
Right.
When it's not, yes, it does look like an O, but with the funny little tail.
All right. Go with me with the letter. It looks like that's the psi. Okay.
That's
Yeah, it looks like
psi, yep.
the Neptune spear. So
Yep.
psi. Then
So
oh goodness.
ellipsis.
Ellipsis.
Something like that.
Yeah, that goes well.
Oh,
Ellipsis. So wait a second.
Ellipsis.
So how's that translate as name? Because with the Maria, and then you got the Ellipsia. Because
Well,
they're talking about the
Maria,
people there right now.
So this here is
Oh.
the. So
okay, Maria okay.
in
Ellipsis, probably
all-
sister, right?
Maria, the probably sister, but
Yeah.
let's look it up.
I'll kind of go with that because I'm trying to remember the
Oh no, anointed.
anointed. Oh wow, how about that?
Oh, sorry.
That's
Ain
what she anointed the
was.
Lord with ointment. Okay,
Yes, which
and wiped his
anointed.
feet.
Perfume.
Okay, yes. Oh, this is
Ali.
where
Yeah.
this is where your buddy Judas says, "Hey man, we could have used that oil."
Well,
Or does
Yeah.
it tell?
Where it
Does
happened.
Jesus tell the other sister to leave it to stop
So
pestering?
let's go to this word here.
Tav. Oh, that one, the gray one or the yellow one?
No, I'm just
Yellow.
So the
Okay,
yellow.
yellow one. Yeah. So that's just oh god. Give me a so it's the damn V again.
I
So
need.
I used to know the alphabet too, back and front. It's amazing
Yep.
what you can forget in this
Tau,
world.
Tau, Omicron, Nu.
No,
So that's
ton,
our N sound. So this is ton.
ton. Yeah, ton.
And then the next word,
Yeah. Go with the Kai. Ooh. P. It's getting late. Kai. Ooh.
Jamie.
Peon. Kai. Peon.
The pink one?
Yeah.
Yep, pink one, Jamie.
Let me see if I can cheat here now.
That's the Upsilon.
I don't know that fourth letter.
So Graham,
Curios?
how do you pronounce the lambda? Is that an I or an L?
This is
Ton.
lambda.
Curios. Yeah, be curious
Oh,
then, right?
that's
I
L.
think that's
Sorry,
right.
yes.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't look
L.
like an L on my sheet, but yes, it's lambda. So this here, Kappa, Upsilon, Rho, Iota,
Mhm.
Omicron, Nu. So the two tricky ones, this one is actually an R sound,
Mm-hmm.
and this one's the N sound. But the rest of them, they look like what you're seeing.
Yeah, Ryan.
So that's
Kurion?
Kurion,
Kurion. Okay.
which is a variation of Kurios. It's in the place in the word where it's written as Kurion because that's the function it's forming, but it still means Lord, just like Kurios does.
Hey, Graham, I really enjoy this and I want to stay, but I've got to go because I got
That's
things
all
I got to do tomorrow. Love you guys,
See ya, Alec.
and we'll see you. All right, we'll catch up soon. All right.
God bless you, Alec.
Bless you too. Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
No sweat. Thank you.
So, Jamie,
Yeah, I'm here.
actually, Jamie, I'm going to send you my sheet.
M sound.
With the list of letters. So it's basically the alphabet. So you've got something to work off.
Moo.
So you can start learning them.
Now I'm on new.
The next one is moron.
Moron. So you got the M right, and that's U. That's
Moo.
Upsilon, and that is the R. So you're Muro.
And then that W is like a double O or sound or what?
No, that's O. That's Omega.
Omega.
That's just
okay.
the long O. It's just the O
Ooh,
sound. O.
like ooh or O. O.
No, O. So this is U.
That's
your,
the ooh,
that's
which
your
looks
short
like a V.
double O. Sorry?
The V looks like is an N sound, and the U is a V sound. Is that what you're saying? Or I mean an O sound or ooh.
Well, an U, but
Okay,
you,
right.
like you. We call the
right,
letter U.
Yeah.
Like it's pronounced U.
I keep forgetting because some of them you can kind of remember by their relation to how they look like English letters, but yeah.
Yes, and those are the easy ones. So yeah, it's easy. It's good to start off with. Yep, that's the same as English. It's U. Well, it's not ah. It's
That
U.
V. The V is an N, right? Sound there.
Yeah, that one's N.
And what's the
Yeah.
T with the backwards J looking T?
No, that's a T.
That's a T, right?
That's a
And
T.
And the O
That's
is
an
what?
O.
O. Like
that's
an
an O.
English.
Yeah, so the one that looks like an O is pronounced O, is the short O. The one that looks like a W is the long O. That's O.
Oh,
That's
the
pronounced-
W's are the O sound, like with the line over
The
it.
one that looks like a W is the O sound. Yep. And
Yeah.
the one that looks like a P is an R.
And R,
so
I think I
that's-
got that one memorized. And what's the
That's
U
your row.
with the dangling epiglottis or whatever?
Yeah. The one with the tail at the beginning, the U with the tail at the beginning is the M. That's
M.
moo.
Moo.
The-
It looks like an M too. So
The U with a tail. Oh no, the N with a tail at the end. So
That's-
this one down here is the eta. A.
Eta. Trying to think of how to remember that one.
Yeah. It's just.
It's first,
So-
so, it puts its foot
So
down.
those are the ones you need to write down and right. I need to remember that this thing is not those letters. So you need to have a sheet of the letters that look like English letters and that
How
have
about
the
this?
same pronunciation.
I'm gonna remember it like this. I'm gonna think of a guy standing in a group, and some guy goes to pass him, and like because they're waiting for something, and a guy goes to pass him, and he says no, and he puts his foot out to stop the guy, and he says I'm first, because A is the
Okay.
first letter.
A.
That's weird, but I think it helped me remember.
A. Fond.
Hey, what are you doing? You can't cut in line.
Whatever works for you. The more bizarre you make it, the easier it is to
Yeah.
remember, actually.
Totally. That's
So
how
make
memory
it as
experts will
stupid
tell
as
you.
possible.
They'll tell you to like if you're trying to memorize a bunch of stuff in a row, you can take the first letter of something, the word, but you gotta like think of like put it in a story and it's gotta have like something it's doing and something it is, and then that'll help you remember. And because you can add to and make a story in your head. That's one technique. But yeah, the weirder the better.
So what's the green word again, Jamie?
That is muro.
Muro.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's an M. That's an U sound, like the English letter U. The P is an R, is the R, and the W is an omega, so O.
Muro.
And that
Muro,
Kai,
Kai.
that's Kai too, right? K-A-I, that looking one. What's those
Yep,
letters?
Kai.
called? Now, I'm
Yep.
not sure what that E is. I forget. Is that
Eh. That's
just
the short E. Eh.
Ek,
Which means- I'll just interrupt with this. Ek or X. So if you see E and then an X after it, this which is X down here, I'm highlighting. So if you have an epsilon, so I should call it an epsilon, not an E, but that one that looks like an E, and then an X after it, or E and then ek means out or out of. Just the
Okay.
same as X has come into English in that way. So expel means to kick out. Exit means the way out.
Oh, that's complicated.
Okay.
Ekmua, oa.
Well, no, break it up into parts. So ek, mux, us, as, or as, ah.
Okay, that's an S sound there. What's that called? That letter? Oh,
That's a sigma. But
sigma.
that's the sigma that's not at the end. So this is the sigma at the end.
oh,
that's
that's what
sigma
it
not
is.
at the end.
Okay.
Yep.
The it's like that last half of the letter pivots off of itself and flips down.
Yeah. It does that. So you're just going to remember that's a sigma. So ek, mux. So that's the X.
Oh, that's how I'll remember it. It's a S, looks like an S when it's at the end of the word, and you just flip it back up, and it makes the O with the little tail on it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like hinged down
Yep.
there on the bottom, hanging around, dangling.
Yeah. So if you turn it upside down and join it up, it looks a bit like that, I suppose. So ek, mux, assa. So ek maxasa. Ek maxasa.
Okay, and the next one would be Sus.
Tus.
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 Yeah, because there's a T, right? T O.
The T. The T is the T.
Ooh, and
Tus.
then that's sigma again. For the end of the word, though.
That's sigma. Yep. Tus. And then
Piodios. Piodios.
podas.
Podas. Oh, yeah, duh.
Podas.
Auto.
Two.
Auto.
Autu.
Oh, yeah. Two. T-O-K. Oh, two.
Tice.
Tice. What's that big O? I haven't learned that one yet.
Th.
That's
Your
pho.
theta.
It's
Yeah,
pho. Why is it not phi? Or no, it's just the PHI one? No. What's the
No,
difference between
that's-
that and the
that's-
pi?
That's th and that's rho.
You say th or puh?
Th. as in theta.
Theta. Theta.
So
right.
TH, but breath, not the, but
Okay.
th.
Th R, and that's an I sound, right? X.
Yeah.
Xio.
Thrixen.
Rixen.
Thrixen.
Thrixen. Oh, that's
Thrix.
the N. That's right. Thrixen. So
Thrixen.
Thrixen. What's that mean?
I have no idea. We're not learning meaning. Okay, let's see if I can find the meaning. Actually, let me do it this way. If I go over to this one, you'll see meaning.
Hair.
Oh, whose hair? Yes. She washed his hair.
Oh yeah, that's because she's doing the foot washing thing with the perfume, right? Now that verse I was
Oh,
talking.
oil. Alipsasa is oil or to oil, to anoint. Kurios. Oh, Muron is myrrh. Muron kai ek maso, or sorry, ek maksasa. So to knead out. Oh, because she washed, so she massaged his head and his feet with the oil.
Maksasa.
Hey, Graham, sorry to interrupt, but Hajmaz joined the stream.
Ek maso. G'day, Ajmad.
Yes, hello. Praise the Lord.
And Pus or Podas is foot. Autu, his. Tice is the. And so Thrixen is hair. So you're right. Thrixen is hair.
I'm a
Well
genius.
done. Well done, James.
Thrixen.
So, Ajmad, we're learning Greek.
Yeah, actually, it is very hard. The Greek is very hard.
Oh, don't say that.
For you is easy. For
No,
me,
it's not easy.
when I studied in the Bible college, I studied the Greek, but I forget.
Yeah, you've got to keep working on it. You've got to use it. And
Use
that's
it
why I want
or
to
lose
do
it.
this,
they
because I want to
say.
learn it properly.
Okay. I wanted
Thrixen.
to, excuse me,
Yes.
Brother Graham, I wanted to request you tomorrow, our 12 o'clock, please teach to our pastors tomorrow. I have invited our 20 to 15 to 20 pastors. So you are going to teach them.
Your 12 o'clock or mine?
No, that is my 12 o'clock.
Your 12 o'clock. What's your time now?
Now is 1 o'clock.
Okay, so my 4:30 tomorrow. Okay. Let me just see what I'm doing tomorrow, because I did have. Oh no, it's earlier in the day.
No, your will be what one, but our is 12 o'clock. Your will be, I think, 2.5 hours first. Means about 2:30.
Yep.
Because I have a count last time when you preach 12
No.
o'clock our time,
So-
and you have.
So Ajmad, it was 2.5 hours when I was in Western Australia. I'm now 2 hours ahead of that, so it's 4.5 hours. I'm now 4.5 hours ahead of you.
Did you send me that, Graham? I gotta take off. Did
Yeah,
send me-
I've
send me
sent
those
you.
letters?
I've sent you that Greek alphabet that I was sharing, and some
Great.
of the words and pronunciation. And
Cool. Thank you. You guys will see you soon.
Catch you,
Hello, hello, Pastor Kevin. Is Kevin left?
I think Kevin's still there.
Kevin, thank you for your gift for the Bible to the people. So I have hand over about 20, no, 20, 12. 12 I have, and our rest of the Bible will be giving today after some time. Then another rest will be tomorrow, will be providing. So thank you very much for your help.
He might not be near the microphone. You there, Kevin? No.
So no problem. You can let him know. So tomorrow 12 o'clock our time, and your will be 2:30. Means 2.5 hours. We will teach some how to they proceed and start with sharing the gospel and evangelism work, and as you like to teach them, no problem. Can you hear me, Graham?
Yes.
Okay.
So can we could talk again before tomorrow?
Yes, I will tell you. I will call you.
Yes,
Before
please.
that also I will call you.
Yes. Yeah, we
And
can
I
discuss this.
I can text you in sorry, what is that? Telegram.
Yes. Yep. And then we can talk there.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll get back to the Greek. So if you message me on Telegram when I'm finished this, I can call you or whatever,
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
and we'll organize it.
Yes. Okay, you can carry on.
Thank you. So how much Greek do you remember, Ajmad?
I studied Greek, but I forget. I studied before 20 years back. 22 years back I studied.
So do you know this word here?
Adelphos.
Yes, adelphos. Very good. What's the next word?
Uh, wait. It is a little hard for me to, but up, mm, las Laspos or something. I forget. Laspos?
Lazarus.
Lazarus. Okay. Lazarus. Okay.
Yeah.
Lazarus.
Or Lazaros. I don't know how the Greeks would pronounce it, but yeah. Lazaros. Next one.
It is very hard for me. Please, you can do it.
You're doing well. You're doing well. This is good encouragement for other people. Take your time. Don't rush.
I studied 22 years back. I studied in the Bible college, but
Yeah, well,
and I studied in the Hebrew also. Hebrew 1 year Hebrew study.
Yep. Oh, time to get back into it again. Study Greek with us, Ajmad.
I have to go through all the alphabet first. That otherwise I can't remember this one.
Yeah. Ace. So ace, then E. Ace then E or ace then I. I don't know how you would pronounce that epsilon iota, but ace then E. Apestilan. Apestilan. In the pink. Un I Adelphi. Or Adelphi. I'll go with Adelphi. Pros Auton. So there's Auton. Legusai. Legusai Kuria Ida
Korea, yeah,
on
Korea.
Philis. So this will be related to philo, which is
Philo.
one of the Greek words for love. So, yeah, I can't translate this because I don't know what all of these words mean. That one I think is speak. That one is Lord. I don't know what I need to do with those two. And that's some form of love, some variation on the word philos. And then astheny again. Oh, that's astheny, and this is astheny. Acusas de o ho, Jesus, Epen, aute a asthenia, uk esten pros thanaton, death. So thanatos is death. If you know your Marvel movies, Thanos causes death, so that might be an easy way to remember that Thanaton is death, or Thanatos. Al
All right, I'm back.
Upa, which means above. It's where we get our word hyper. So Hooper. Tais Doxase, which is related to glory. Tu Theu, which is God. Ena. Doxasthe. Ho Hus, which is sun. So this is glory again. Dox, it's glory. Sun to Theu de Autes. Now, yeah, partly because I remember this passage, but what's going on here? This death is not. So there's a not in here somewhere, I think. But this death is unto the glory of God. Glory, the God, in glory, the Son, the God. Because there's more. When I'm not translating, I'm just telling you what these words are, but not everything that's here in the Greek, because the form of these words tells us more information, which I don't know. I suspect this is genitive, but I don't know, which would mean, if that's genitive, which I suspect, that would mean that this means the Son of God. And then dia means via, essentially, or d means through. Him, I would suspect, is that means self, essentially. But anyway, did you want to keep going, Nicholas? Kevin. Well, it's better than calling you Gavin, I suppose, isn't it?
Did you call me Gavin, Graham?
No, I called you Nicholas.
Oh. Well, I guess
said
that's
that.
not an insult.
That's better than calling you Gavin, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But it's still not my name.
No, I know. But my brain blanks, and so I just start throwing out words. Oh boy, it's bad. Do you want to keep going in verse 5 there, Kevin?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, so Graham, it's as I suspected. Remember we were talking the other day about Fred?
No.
The guy I met from
Fred?
Africa like a year and a half ago.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so he put up a stream earlier, and I tuned in for a second, and he had a guy on there that was just preaching stuff that was way out far in left field, and I confronted him about it. He took the video down. I said, Fred, do you believe in the word of faith? And I don't know if he understood what I said, but he said, yes, I believe in the word of faith. And I said, that's a false gospel.
Yep.
Oh, now he's asking, how is it a false gospel? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Would you explain more to me, please?
So
yeah.
I can give you a video that will be excellent on this topic. So the guy's name is Conrad Mbewe. He's African himself. I can't remember what country he comes from.
Oh, good. Fred's from Uganda.
I can't remember where this guy's from, but he's from over there. And this sermon is called "Are We Preachers or Witch Doctors?" And there's another sermon as well called "The African Import of Charismatic Chaos."
Okay.
So I'll send you both of those, and you can send them to him.
Yeah, because he's messaging me on Facebook right now. I'm sure you heard the messenger go off.
Yeah, I can hear the ding.
Yeah, that's
Ding.
Fred. Yep.
So I've put them in the chat. So if you go to YouTube, you should be able to see those emails. I can email them to you as well if you want.
Okay, can I say something to Kevin, Brother Graham? Can I say something to Kevin?
Sure.
Yes.
Hello, Kevin.
Hey,
Thank you for your help for gifting the Bible, and we have distributed 12 2 days back. Then some more is tomorrow, and today. And I will be reporting very soon as you help the Bible to the new believers and new people, those who got the converted and those who come to the Lord. So thank you very much for your kind help, and may God bless you, and continuously please pray for us, and we will pray for you also.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man.
And tomorrow also we have one pastor meeting is there. Pastors will be coming, and Brother Grant will be sharing the God's word there, and we will be having a good time there. And so there also some pastors need some the youth pastors, they need also some Bible, not youth pastor, but youth man. They are evangelize in different
Young men.
villages. Young
Yep.
men, young about.
So
Like
Ajmad, how are we doing that tomorrow? Do you want to do that on YouTube or?
Oh, I don't know YouTube. I'm just normal. I will call you in what is that called, Messenger, or in
Telegram?
Telegram. I don't know. I never use Telegram call, but how much it is possible. But Zoom, can it possible Zoom if I send the link?
Yeah. If you have a Zoom link, send me a Zoom link because I don't have Zoom anymore.
Yeah, me either. I just got a new phone because my other one was acting up. So Graham, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you be willing so I sent Fred the videos, I told him to watch them, and then we could talk about it. So after he watches the videos, would you be willing to do a stream with Fred if he has questions, if you want to go over the
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. Yeah, I had no idea because when I did talk to him, everything he was saying sounded biblical to me. And then
Yeah, and this is the problem. It's like talking to Catholics and Mormons and so forth. They learn lingo that they don't even know that they're being deceived necessarily.
right.
They're just taught to use the same words, and then you find out later, oh, hang on, they don't mean the same thing we mean.
So I tuned into his live stream earlier, and he had a guy on there that was preaching, and someone in the audience referred to him as a prophet. And I'm like, what? I was like, he's not a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did a little like the tongue thing at the top at the beginning of the church. And I'm like, first of all, you're not supposed to do that in the church without interpretation, first of all.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then when he was preaching, he was talking about the guy was doing a sermon on pre-Adamic races, like the gap theory, like the earth was without form and void because God destroyed it and I was like, what is this garbage? And then the guy said something outlandish. He's like God came out of himself. He was like describing the Trinity, like God was within himself. I was like, what is this guy talking about? It was really weird and bizarre. And the guy had like nice clothing on, looked like he was pretty well off, He had a decent church for in Africa over there, that guy.
Kenneth Copeland.
No, it was some African guy that was preaching.
No. I mean, where does he get it from?
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard of the guy before, but I. Oh boy! Oh boy!
And can Kevin can join with us in prayer that tomorrow? Can it possible? Do you have a time? I can get a permission from Graham. Can he come and join with us and pray for pastors? Can it possible? Is
Do you want to
okay?
join us? Do you want to join us tomorrow, Kevin?
What time?
This
So it'll be about this time of day.
before
Ajmad,
this is before 1 hour. This is the
Ajmad,
beginning.
yeah,
Yes,
but that
yes.
doesn't mean Ajmad will send us a link. It's about this time of day. It'll be earlier than now. So we can minister to them in India. So
All
he's
right.
inviting you to pray.
Sure. I'd be glad to. I don't know if I feel
Excellent.
comfortable preaching to him, but I'll leave that to
No,
you.
I'll do that. I'll let you know more information. We'll find out what's going on.
All right.
Ajmad. So Ajmad, you'll send us a message letting us know when.
Yes, I will send you the message in our group in Telegram.
All right.
Oh, it'll be about your 3:30 in the morning. Does that work for you, Kevin?
Yeah. Tomorrow?
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's fine.
it'll be an hour earlier than now in 24. So in 23 hours, essentially.
An hour earlier so it'll be my 1:46. Because it's
Yeah.
2:46 right now. It's almost 3. So it'd be about my 2.
Well, a bit earlier than that. So Ajmad, it'll be. What time was it for you again? 12 o'clock, which is my 4:30, which means that it's your 1:30, Kevin.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. I can do that. No problem. 1:30 a.m. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, it's your 1:30 a.m. It's Ajmad's midday. It's my 4:30 p.m. I'm getting good at this.
So Graham, Fred just told me he'll be available in 2 hours to talk about the videos if I want, and he said he's willing to come on stream to talk. He said after 2 hours I will be free. He said he's working. Okay. Are you gonna be free in 2 hours, Graham?
In 2 hours, yep.
All right, I'll tell him. Okay. Yeah, because we get that straightened out, because I'm sure there's probably a lot he's got to. He has a very heavy accent. I'm just warning you, so it can be kind of hard to
Yeah, that's
understand.
all right.
Yeah.
So Janet Obsioma Jennings is in the chat. She's saying that it's Armstrong.
That's Charles' wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. They believe they became like a
so you
god.
know Armstrong, Herbert W. Armstrong, wasn't it? Church of God, Worldwide Church of God, I think they were.
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, he had a lot of false doctrines. And then when he died, the person who took over believed evangelical Christianity. So he didn't believe that Jesus was God, I think. I can't remember if he was.
I've heard of Kenneth Hagin and stuff.
No, this is a different thing. But the person who took over the Worldwide Church of God when Herbert W. Armstrong died was an evangelical. And so other people in the church went, no, we reject that. And so the church is split into 3 or 4 different churches of God now. And one's called the Universal Church of God. One's called the Traditional something, or I don't know. They've all got different names. But yeah, the guy who took over tried to bring it towards the Bible, but some of the groups split off and went, no, we don't believe that. And so they rejected it.
Oh boy.
So if he's teaching Herbert W. Armstrongism, no, that's heresy. But yeah, more than happy to talk to him and explain why I think what I think and what Scripture says.
I wouldn't know how to prove to him that there's no more prophecy though, because I mean, if you read in the Bible, it does
I
seem
can.
like you can?
2 Timothy 3:16 and 17.
Okay.
Scripture is sufficient.
Brother
We do not
Grant,
need
Brother
God
Grant,
to speak to us directly anymore.
Brother Graham and Kevin, can I?
Ajmal,
Yeah, can I go to our children workers meeting we have in our training meeting place? So I'm going there, and
yes,
if you are online, you can see there also, no problem.
yes,
And I can call you there also. You can see there our children workers meeting is going on.
excellent.
So I will run there. About it will take like 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, well, we'd love to see that.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. I am a pleasure to join here. And
Thanks, mate.
okay, bye bye. Okay, we'll meet later.
God bless you.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you so much.
So, Kevin, do you mind cutting this video up later into the stuff where we're learning Greek and cut out all the things that aren't that?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Thanks,
And
mate.
then- Yeah. And then you could download that version. You could upload that to your channel too, so we could both have it, or you can just have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'd be a good experience for you as well to just be listening to it and seeing it, and just keep revisiting this stuff, and we can keep doing this. Like, this is, for me, this is fun. But it is easier for me because I've been doing it for longer, and so there's more words that I know. If Charles was on here trying to teach me, I'd be getting lost. Probably similar to how you feel at the moment a bit. But I hope you're getting something out of it.
Yeah, just like I said, I'm bad with language. It's like it's gonna take me a really long time, and then like I'm really gonna have to fight to try to get myself to really study it too. Because it's like I feel like it's easier for me to go over it if I have people with me, but if I'm on my own by myself, it's like hard for me to be like, all this stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's why it's good to do it this way. We encourage each other to do it. Do you want to keep going with verse 5?
Sure. Okay. So what am I trying to sound out here?
Just go word by word. Tell me what you do know. And if you're struggling with something, then
So the Y is a hard G, right?
yes, good.
The elongated N, that's like the Fonzie, right? The A.
Hey, there you go.
And then obviously alpha is an A sound. Pi is a P. All right, so it's ain a pa. Ainape?
G. A
Or
g.
G, yeah.
A gappa.
Agape.
Well, yes, it's a variation of agape. So it's love. So agape de.
And then O. Right? Is that the right O? That's an O, right?
Ho. Yeah. So O on its own is always ho.
And I don't know what the first letter there is. That the Ida? The Ada, I mean, at the front of that last word there?
Yes, iota.
All right, so that's a
Iota, eta.
EA
Sigma. So
oh, isn't the O isn't that pronounced like a TH?
No. So don't get confused between this one. Hang on. So this one here is your TH.
Okay.
That's your O, and that's your
Ah.
S when it's not at the end. So at the end, your S looks like that. When it's not at the end, that's how your S looks. It's got that little curl. So it looks exactly the same as the O, but with a little curl on it. So I, A, S, U.
And then an S again, right? Like this.
Yep. So what does that make?
I don't know.
Sound it out. Go through it slowly. A
A s an ace an ace oos
sus. Sus.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a Jesus. So it's Jesus, not just Jesus. It's Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus. Or you can say Jesus. I don't know whether that's how they would have pronounced it, but it makes it easier to remember if you remember Jesus. So Jesus.
Okay.
And that when it came over into English turned into a J, because J, I don't know, it's complicated, but it's like Spanish. So in Spanish it's Jesus with a J, but for some reason in English we started pronouncing J as a J, so it became Jesus instead of Jesus, which is how Spanish still pronounce it, but they spell it the same as English.
Gotcha.
Next word.
I don't remember what that first. Hold on, I gotta look it up. I gotta cheat.
No, that's easy. What does it look like?
It looks
What
like
does
a
it look
T.
like? Yep, it is. That's
Oh.
it. It's easy.
Oh, that's the
one of
towel.
the easy, that's one of the easy ones. Yep, that's the towel.
So T, and then the V is an N.
The V is an N. Yep.
So it's tame.
Tane. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's it. That's tane. Next one, and that means the. That's one of the many, many words they have for the. We only have one word for the.
Yeah.
They have 12 or 20 or something. But don't worry about that for now. But
So
yeah,
tame
you'll
is
see
at the
that a lot.
top.
It's over here as well.
And
Tane.
can you remind me with the elongated thing on the end? I forget what that is.
M. That's the moo.
That's the M. Okay. So you got meh, meh, the
Ma. Marf.
Mafa or
Marfan. So
yeah,
Martha.
because the O is the TH, right? So
that's the TH. Yeah.
yeah.
So Marfan. So that's Martha in English.
Marthan.
But yeah, this is Marthan.
All right.
Con, this is an easy one. Exactly what they look like.
Wait, you laughing at me?
No. Just
wait, hold on.
look
But that letter.
Look at what you see.
So the V at the end that's an N sound, right?
Yes, Marthan.
Marthan.
Yes, but in English, so we call her Martha, but in Greek, so Greek changes the end of words to mean different things. So here in this sentence, it's Marthan, but she's Martha. All right, so in Greek, Marthan, in this place, in this sentence, Marthan, that means Martha.
Right.
So I'm telling you not only how to pronounce it, but the meaning of the word when I know what the meaning of the word is.
Okay.
I hope that's not confusing.
No, it's fine. Like,
Good.
I don't want to focus on like what each word means. Like to start, I
Right.
just want to be able to pronounce the letters.
Yeah, I just think it helps. Like you see that and you go, "Oh, that's Jesus, Jesus."
Right, no problem, Janet. Thanks for stopping by.
But what works for you?
Yeah.
If I'm confusing you by doing that, then I'll stop doing it. But I think eventually that's what you're going to be doing is you're going to see it and go, "Oh, I know what that means. I know who this is or whatever." Anyway, let's keep going. So that's Marthan,
Kai, and then Thane.
Tane.
Yeah, Tane. Yeah.
Yep, Tane.
I forgot what that Q looking thing is.
You mean, which letter?
The second one.
That's a D.
Oh, yeah. Wait, do I have that written down? Like, what the heck? I don't even see it on my. Oh. Wait, that's a D?
Mhm.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I wrote it down sloppy. My goodness.
So it looks pretty much like a D. It's just slightly different.
Yep. Okay. So that's a D. So you got A, D. So it's Adela. Yeah. Adela.
Adele.
Yep. Adele.
And then that's the F.
That's not the omega. That's
That's the F.
yeah.
The F, our F sound.
Out of fiend.
Adelphane.
Adelphine.
Adelphane, which, well, no, won't tell you the meaning. Adelphane.
Adelphine. Okay. Adelphine. So I'm having trouble with that one. The f part there. The
Yeah. So there's a few letters that are tricky. Don't let that slow you down, right? So you don't know that letter yet. That's okay. And it's confusing you with the omega as well. So that's okay. So you've got the alpha, the delta, the epsilon, and the lambda. You know the L, even though it's weird looking letter.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
Yeah, so you're remembering that one, which is good. So yeah, focus on what you are remembering and go, well, there's some things I still have to learn. I'll put them over on the sheet.
The N is
I'm
easy
still-
to remember when I associate it with the Fonz. You know, I remember the A.
Yep. So what you want to do is the letters that you're still working on, the letters that you go, no, I'm still confused, or I'm getting this one mixed up with that one, or whatever. Write those on one sheet and have another sheet for the letters, or put them all on one sheet, but put them in different columns, which letter, whatever works for you, so that you can easily see, yep, those letters aren't ones that I'm really struggling with. I pretty much find those easy. Like the T, that's one you probably need to highlight. That is easy. It looks like a T, it's a T. Whereas this other weird looking thing that you're getting confused with omega, put that over in another place where you can go, right, that one I need to work a little bit harder on figuring out what that is. And you've got the gamma as well. You figured out Y is gamma. So if you close in the top of that Y, then that'll help you remember. Well, that's how I do it, is I pretend that it's got a cap on it so it looks more like a G.
See, I already forgot how to pronounce the. You said it's a D, right? It's a D.
Yeah,
Does it look like
A D E L F A. Oh, well, sorry, A D E L F A N. Adelphine.
Okay.
I'm still having my lunch.
So
3.5 hours after I bought it.
So verse 6, that one should be fairly easy. That's just os, right? Or os.
Os.
Yeah, os.
Yep.
And the U is a M, so that's own, right? Own.
Well, un. So the Omicron upsilon is U sound. The longer U. So this is upsilon on its own is more of a sound, the short U, double O, and OU is more the long double O. U.
So it's
If that,
un.
so that's un, yeah.
Un. Okay.
Whereas if you took the O off, it would be un. It'd be the
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's all right. So the next word is all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fifth letter in is where it's going to trip me up because I already forgot.
That's the S. That's
Oh,
sigma.
right. If it's an O, the swiggly on the top, it's pronounced as an S.
Yeah, that's S.
Yeah, I
So
gotta
what
remember-
Jamie did before, so this is the S when it's the end of the word down
Yeah,
here.
that's easy to remember because it
He
looks
turned
like
the S upside down and closed it up, and you get you get close to that letter. So if you remember that,
I'm not going to remember
okay.
that.
Well, whatever works for you to find a way to remember that that's sigma.
Okay. So you got Akusin.
Yep, that'll work for me, Akusen.
Okay. How would you pronounce
I
it?
don't know how to properly pronounce these. I'm just going by
Oh.
the letters that I'm seeing.
Okay. All right. So the next one, I forget how to pronounce the last letter. It looks like an I. Let's see.
Yep. And it's the short I,
Oh, okay.
or E. Like a short I sounds like E when you just run it into a word.
So
So
it's
Oti.
OT?
Oh,
Oh, OT.
Oti.
Oh,
Or
OT.
Oti.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. Something like that.
Okay. Well, and then you got the next letter there. The next word is ain, which means the, right?
Sorry.
Next word down is ain, right?
This one.
Oh, I skipped a line. I'm sorry. No, it was the one underneath it. The N and
Oh,
the V.
you're down here. Okay. Yep. Sorry.
No, I
No,
can
this
try
one.
the one you just. Let's see.
Yep.
So the swiggle, that's an S. Okay, so that's S or S S the S the LV or Vel.
No. Remember, that's the N. No.
Which one?
The V is an N.
Oh yes.
That's the new.
Yeah.
So astheny.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy.
So it's this word here.
So I know the last two letters. I know the
Yep.
V's an N, and I know the other one is just an E. But the U with the long elongated part, I can't remember.
You keep forgetting.
Yeah.
So that's the mu. So this word is actually men. That's not the meaning, the English meaning. That
Okay.
word is men in Greek.
Men. Okay.
Mu, epsilon, nu. So maybe, I don't know if that word's useful for you. If you remember that you write that word out and it's pronounced men. So you could write next to it men. You go, well, that might help you remember the M. Or
Yeah,
the
I
mu,
keep
mean.
forgetting that.
Yep. We'll
It's-
keep working on it until you get there.
Ah.
It's like it takes a
Frustrating.
while. These things are confusing.
It's frustrating.
Be patient. Be patient with yourself. It does take time to learn.
Yeah, I know. So the next word then is M L Nen. Elanen. Or yeah. No. I don't know.
What are you doing?
So that's then the very next word. So that's
Oh,
M
M-E.
L. Wait, then it's N again. So it's
What you got to remember, so that's epsilon, mu, epsilon, iota. So those two combine together to make the sound E. So I'm told.
oh.
So
How am I
it's
supposed to remember that?
well, don't worry, don't stress too much about that at the moment. Just recognize the letters so that you know that that's the E and the I, or the E and the E.
Right.
So we haven't got to combining vowels together yet. So you've got your oo up here. You're remembering that. So you're doing well with that one's the oo. And so you'll learn that one's an E sound.
Okay.
So me, and then you've got the nu and the nu twice.
Yep.
So aminen.
Okay. And then the next word's really easy. It's just N.
N, which, what does that mean?
The.
No, in. So N, epsilon nu, means in. I-N.
Oh.
It's one of the easiest Greek words to learn because it's so similar to what it is in English. And it sounds similar, N and in. But
Okay.
don't worry about that. If you remember it, great. If you don't, we're focused on letters at the moment.
So what does it mean when omega is just by itself? It's just O?
I think that's the, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up. I'd say that's the, but yeah, no, that's only a guess. This is was. So you remember from John 1:1, in arche ano logos, in the beginning was the word. So N is in and ain is was. But yeah, I think that would be the.
Okay.
And then topo, which I don't know. Duo, I think, means two. And
A. I freaking forgot the U thing again.
M. So remember men. Amoras.
Yeah.
It's okay. You'll get there. You'll get there, Kevin. You're not going to remember everything immediately. You have learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just kind of embarrassing though. Like we're live on YouTube and I'm like struggling to sound out words.
Don't worry about the
I
live.
feel like
on
I'm in
YouTube.
kindergarten or something.
It's encouraging to other people, mate, and other people will be more prepared to have a go. They'll be like, yeah, no, I can do that. I can fumble around with it too. It's okay. doesn't matter. We want to learn Greek, and it's not easy when you're first starting to try and learn something. It takes time. So if we can all stumble through it together, because you haven't seen my 40 years of work that I've put into it, and how far progress. 40 years, and I still don't know Greek. I know letters, I know some pronunciation, I know some words, and that's it. I know about this much Greek. 40 years.
Wow.
So I hope you can learn it faster than me. That's my purpose in doing this. I want other people to learn Greek faster than I have. And I can give you a leg up. 40 years of stumbling around learning a tiny bit.
Ho is the.
But it's persistence and hard work. It takes time. But once you get started,
All right.
so do you want to keep going?
I suppose.
Well, it's up to you. Don't force yourself. Don't make it a chore. It should be enjoyable.
Oh, it's not enjoyable. This is definitely a chore.
No, I think you had a little bit of fun with it. I've seen you enjoy it a little bit. So don't push yourself beyond, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to do this again. Because you picked up this was agape, even though it's not spelled the same way as agape is spelled.
Well, because I cheated though. You started to pronounce it, and I caught on.
Yeah, no, but it's still not. So it's not agape. So this is spelt differently than agape, but you still heard it that this is the same, like it's the same root, but this is a different version of the same word, and
Right.
you picked that up. There's definitely things that I don't know. It sounds like to me that you enjoyed some of it.
Yeah, like
And
when there's
remember the
letters I
fonts.
remember, and it's and I
Remember
can
the
sound them out,
fonts.
it's like,
Hey.
hey, yeah, the fonts. You know?
Hey. You're just gonna remember what the Fonz looks like. He's leaned over with one leg down.
Yeah, or the N, like it's his hair or something. You know.
I don't know. Whatever works for you. If you can remember that's the Fonz. Hey.
Yeah.
That's one step forward. Even if every time we do this, even if it's only one or two things that you're learning, what's happening is your brain is being rewired as well. And you might not remember them the next lesson, but slowly that's being implanted in there till one day there's a switch that flips and all of a sudden you can read Greek. I mean, well, it won't necessarily be sudden, but all of a sudden you'll look back and you'll go, actually, look at how much I've learned. It is making sense to me now.
Okay.
Because you
It
won't
won't just look
see,
like a bunch of weird squibblies on the screen. You'll actually be able to see it.
it will happen. So, yeah, be patient.
Like I can tell you, the next row down, I know that first letter there. I know that's an L, and I know
Yes.
the alpha is an A.
Yes.
I know that S thing is pronounced just like an S. And
That's pretty much a Z, actually, that one.
I thought that was an S.
No, so the S that you're thinking of is this one here.
Oh.
So notice how it's got that extra squiggle on the top, slightly different shape. It's a bit taller. So that's a Z.
Oh.
But S is close to Z, so that works for now. So
Well, I don't want to try to. If I'm wrong, I don't want to remember it as an S if it's supposed to be a Z. You know.
well, yeah, but it's Z, so it's not the opposite. It's not like a completely different sound. But yeah, that's the difference between. So that S. So you will never find an S that looks like an S in the middle of a word. If it's in the middle of a word, it's a Z.
Okay.
And you'll see there's those other differences as well. It's got that extra squiggle on top. It's
I don't think
taller.
I'm going to remember that, but yeah, that's good to know. If the S is not at the end of the word, it's never pronounced as an S. It's a Z. Okay.
Yeah, if it's not at the end of the word, it will always look like that. That's the S that's not at the end of the word. It's
Right.
the only letter in Greek that changes.
Okay. Man, why do they do
So,
that?
yeah,
Why do they
that's-
not make it confusing? Just leave it alone. Like,
Meh. So, so that's the L, that's the A, that's Z, and that's A again. And then
don't know what that one is.
you don't remember that's the R.
No.
Yeah. So this word here is Lazaron.
Oh,
which is Lazarus
Lazarus.
in English.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are, and this is the other thing I'll say as well. John is the easiest book to learn Greek from. He uses the simplest Greek, and it's not that the concepts he's passing on are simple. It's just that he uses language very simply to pass on very complex ideas. He doesn't use the language complexly. He's very clever at how he uses the language to pass on big truths with very simple use of words. He's brilliant. But yeah, if you want to learn Greek, John is the easiest to learn Greek from.
Right. Okay.
Legusin, auto, oi,
Hold on.
methetai.
So the K is pronounced as a K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that last word's easy then. So that's a keki or a keki.
Eki.
Eki. Oh, so the
Ek-
E and that I at the end just make an E sound together, like
Yeah,
Eki.
essentially, yeah, pronounce them as E. Yep.
Okay. So I was doing it wrong by just saying like a I. It's supposed to be an E.
Yeah, well, that never is pronounced as I, unless it's with an A. So A iota or alpha iota, you would pronounce as I. But iota is pronounced I or E. And then with an epsilon in front, yeah, definitely pronounce that as an E.
All right.
Is what I've been told.
Right.
Have a guess at that word there.
All right. So
Well, not guess, but
okay.
see what
So
you can
that's
do with it.
the B is a B. Yeah. So that's Rabbi, a rabbi.
Yeah, so in English we would say rabbi, but in Greek it's rabbi or rabbi. Rabbi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you enjoying your straw, Graham?
Yeah. I don't like wasting any. It's like I've got to get every little bit. Have you seen what I do with this when I'm finished?
No.
I pull it apart and lick it.
Are you serious?
Yep. I hate wasting it.
Oh, come on, Graham.
It's so nice, all this sugar. Oh,
Oh,
I get
man.
every last little bit.
Okay. Oh, no.
See, I'm on stream and I'm not embarrassed. It's like I do not care. People can think what they want of me. I'm just me. If you don't
Better
like
be careful.
it, go somewhere else.
There'll be another meme on Praise's channel.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Do what you want to me, Praise. You can't hurt me.
Oh boy. All right. So I'm gonna attempt this word down here. So that's pi, alpha. So that's Peline.
This one, yes.
Peline.
Yep. Palin. No.
Oh,
Palin.
Palin?
Well, it's Palin, but yeah, it's P. If we were to write it in English, it'd be Palin, which is Palin.
Yeah.
Sarah Palin.
Palin. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Palin, I would go with in Greek.
Okay.
a shot at that one there,
Oh boy.
and
All right.
tell me what
Okay.
you think it means when you're finished
Okay.
with it.
Okay.
That's a good one. That one.
So that's a D in the fourth there. So that's Dale. So the V is an N.
It's
Right.
not a V.
It looks like a V.
There's your new there. That one's different
Oh,
shape.
you're right. Okay, I don't know what that is then. I gotta.
That's a U. That's just your upsilon. Oh. And if you put an omicron in front of it, this is U. So this one up here is nu
Yeah.
upsilon nu. That's nun. Not none, nun.
Okay. So it's E. Yeah, so it's a short O. So it's E and
Yep. Eud.
I don't know, Graham.
So this AI is essentially pronounced I.
Okay.
Ayu die oi. So you've got I and then oi.
Oi.
E u die oi. So essentially that's saying Jews. Iudeoi, because it's Judea or Judea.
Oh.
So people that come from Judea, so are Judeoi or Judeoi. So Jews.
Okay.
That's one word for Jews in Greek, because like these words, they have different forms depending on what the word is doing in the sentence. But that's the root of the word is always the first bit. Or well,
Yeah.
not always. No, there's exceptions to that as well. But it's the end that gets changed to tell you what the word is doing. And we'll get into that. But yeah,
All right.
just give you a heads up. We're heading there at some stage. So at this stage, what you're focusing on is looking at the first half of a word to figure out meaning. So if you can get the pronunciation for the first half, then associate that pronunciation with a meaning, you're starting to learn the basics of words in Greek. So over here you've got lith. So I should use the Greek letters. Lambda, iota, theta. And if I remember, that's rock. And then the end of it is telling you other things that I haven't learnt yet. So lithosai, whatever that means. Oh, he asked them to roll the rock away, if I remember correctly. And then that's probably the Jews, and I can't remember what Palin means. Upagis. So that sounds like above something, or above ground. Above ground, eki, and so ek is nearly always out of. So I'm not expecting you to remember all of that, just giving you some conception of how Greek works, that the first part of it is usually the root meaning of the word, and the last half of the word is often telling you what that word is doing in the sentence, its relationship to everything else in the sentence, if that makes sense. But we'll keep going over that when you get there. At the moment, you're still learning letters. So
I'm slow.
Want to put it in that broader context.
Yeah. I'm a slow learner, especially when it comes to language. Man, you were serious. Look at that cup. My goodness.
That's right. Stripped it. And now I lick the inside.
Graham, really?
You betcha. Can't waste it.
Oh my. It's not that serious.
It's for me.
Wow.
We're Australians. We're not as rich as Americans. We're starving.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no.
You should see me when I finish my plate.
Oh boy.
My plate, I was going to say my plate doesn't need to be washed, but I don't mean it like that. Of course, it needs to be washed to be clean, but you look at it and you go, well, it looks clean. What's the Marines saying? Leave no man behind. Is that the Marines?
I don't know, Grant. That'd be kind of like looked down upon over here. You're at the dinner table licking a plate. Everyone probably look at you like something wrong with
Well,
you.
as a general rule, I wouldn't do it if I was eating with most other people. If I'm with my family and they don't mind. But yeah, I wouldn't do it at a restaurant or something. But I'm sitting here in my home, and just because you people are watching me doesn't mean I'm not sitting in my home and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, you can, but I'm gonna pick on you.
Yeah, well, feel free. Feel free. It's fun. But be prepared for me to give it back too. That's what friends do, especially Australians.
Yeah.
We pick on each other.
Yeah.
So now I know you're really my friend, Kevin, because you pick on me.
Well, I mean, I've considered you a friend for a little while now. I would hope you think.
Yeah,
me
no,
as a
but I
friend.
mean, as Australians, we go, if you're not picking on me, well, do you really love me?
Okay. Yeah.
Because you only do it to your friends. Like if they're your
Yeah.
enemy, well, you try to be a bit polite. But if they're your friend, you know they can hack it. They know that you love them, so
Yeah.
you can have a bit more fun.
There's another bot. Okay.
Ah, dearie me. Well, Janet seems to be enjoying listening to us. She was enjoying studying the Greek as well, which is good.
Yeah.
She was doing pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't known Charles and Janet that long, but they seem like good people. You know, they seem cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the first time I met Charles, he came on Donnie's stream, and Donnie was refuting work salvation, and he was just throwing it out there and just talking, and he pulled up the Greek and showed how this proves this and that, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good." You know, had smoky tongue tied. All right, let's try another word, I guess.
If you want. We don't have to. Do you want to start the next sentence?
Oh boy. Okay. All right, so that's
Yeah, that's a good word, isn't it?
so that's epic, and then pithe.
Except that's not a p. There's your p over here.
Yeah. Right. That's
So take this bit off the bottom of it, and you've got close to our letter.
Oh, it's like a W.
No, it's R. So just the bottom of the circle. If you take the bottom of the circle off, it looks like an R.
Oh, right. Sorry. All right, let me try that again. So it's an R. So we got epic.
Yep.
Epic. Rin.
Apocryphae. So that's th, and that's a.
A,
A.
Yep. Yeah, it's the Fonz. Yeah.
That's right. So
Ugh.
epicrithe.
Can I have an easy
No,
one?
no,
Like a shorter word?
no. Well, the
I
next
just want to
one's,
get
the
one
next
right.
one's pretty short. There, go for that one. Or that one. I don't know. Pick whichever one you want. You just tell me which one you're doing so I can help you.
Okay, wait. Yeah, so that one's fine because it's got two of the O's, but I know one is the one with the Ziggly line is an S.
Yep, that's an S.
And then the other one is T or CH or TH.
No. So here's your TH. There's your TH. That one's just O. So this is ho. So epicrithe ho I a su. So that the omicron and the oo together make an oo sound. So oo make oo.
Ooh.
S. So remember, they're both S's. That's the S. That's the S at the end. That's the S everywhere else in the word. Lowercase. We haven't even started on uppercase yet. This is just lowercase letters.
Yeah, I know.
I hear you, mate. Yep.
So how do you so the first two letters together, because that the thing that looks like an I, that's actually it's like a E,
Well,
right? Like
it's I or E. But here it's sort of like a Y sound. So E.
So yeah, but how would you pronounce that with the A? Like the A, so it's
Well, it's sort of two separate sounds. So I-A, so EA, so or yay.
Graham, I said an easy word. This isn't easy. This word sucks.
You need to learn this word. This word is very, 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 very important. Iesus.
Oh wow. I didn't mean that, Lord. That word does not suck.
Sorry, Lord.
Yeah, the Greek. Yeah. Oh man.
Iesus.
Wow.
So just make it easy on yourself and go EA. So Iesus.
But I thought it was an E.
Well, yeah. So EA sus. Jesus.
Okay. Jesus. Yeah, that's Jesus, right?
Yeah, Jesus, Jesus. Yep. Man. So, yes, your iota does make that E sort of sound. And when it's followed by the eta, it goes EA. EA.
Yeah.
So you get both sounds, EA. But you've got that sort of Y in the middle.
Okay, so if I see that letter with the Fonz together, it's an EA.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not going to remember that.
Well, write the word out. Put it up somewhere and go, that's Jesus. That's Jesus. And that way it'll help you remember iota A or iota eta, EA, Jesus.
See, because there's a little zwiggly on the end of it there.
Yeah, so this weird S and the eta. A. So Jesus. And just keep repeating it to yourself. Put it in your phone if you have to. Iota, eta, sigma, omicron, upsilon, sigma, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm glad you're getting a kick out of this, Janet. Oh boy. Lord have mercy. I'm in Dante's Inferno.
Sorry, Lord, I didn't mean that. That's not true.
Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad with foreign language. I'm terrible. It's like the worst thing I could ever like.
Yeah, stop saying that.
Oh, I failed Spanish in high school. Like,
yeah, well, this is Greek though, and God wants you to learn it, so you are going to learn it. And
Are you sure God wants me to learn this? I mean, I'm happy with
Yes.
my English translation.
Yes, you've got the perfect preserved word of God's King James,
Oh yeah, Peter Ruckman would tell me I have it. You know,
spoken by Jesus and Paul.
what was it? Arctic Timberwolf? Yeah, the English was in the beginning.
Yeah, don't keep repeating to yourself that you're terrible at it. You're learning. That's just take it steady. Be easy on yourself.
Yeah. All right, let's
Um,
try. Let's try a shorter one.
And it is difficult. Like, it's not that this is easy. So what's this one?
Okay. So we got the oi. Oh, that I haven't dealt with that letter too much. I don't remember what that X looking one is.
This one, this is the k sound, the guttural. So the one that looks like an X isn't X, it's k.
K. Yeah.
The one that looks like lots and lots of squiggles like this looks like a really squiggly E. That's the X. I can't find one at the moment. Oh, there it is. There's X. That's the Xi. They don't call it X, but we call it X. So this one here is the K sound. But if it's easier for you, just stick with K for now. But it'd be good if you could learn K.
Yeah, K. So that's not the THO. That's the
That's just O.
Yep. It's just a
But
regular.
it's followed by the O. So Omicron
And then
Upsilon,
U,
which
so-
is oo, the oo sound, the long oo.
and then so auk.
So
So
uki,
if the
Uki.
sound is with the I at the end, is that
ki.
key? Okay.
Yeah, uki.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay. Uki.
Icky.
Uki.
Sounds like you stepped in dog dude on the sidewalk. Icky.
Uki. Or you swallowed a fly. Uki. You're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get it
yeah.
out of your throat. Next
Oh.
word.
Ah, man. All right, so that's dodeca.
Dodeca. Yep. Excellent.
Okay.
That one's not really that hard.
Well, I
It's
mean,
the
it looked
W.
long, so that's why I was like, oh boy.
If you remember the W is an O, all of the rest of the letters say what they look like. Dodeca.
Yep. All right, that's a sigma. So that's a S. So it's close.
Don't look at the chat. Janet's helping you. She's already gone ahead.
Oh. So such I don't know, Graham. How? Yeah, I have no.
So the epsilon iota makes an E sound.
So both of those together is just an E.
E, yeah. So it's the longer E. So iota sort of makes an E sound, but it should be a shorter E, closer to the I. But then epsilon iota is the long E. So it should be longer than just E.
Oh.
So iota is closer to I or E. Yeah. But don't stress too much about that at the moment. It's you know that it's the epsilon and the iota. And then what's the next letter?
That's also an S.
That's the S. Yep, that's sigma. And then
so those two, so that'd be chi, right, with the N at the end.
so you got sin. So Eason. So sigma and then iota again, and then nu.
Wait, why is it a sin? I thought it was a.
What are you seeing? I don't know.
Whoa.
So this word here is what we're looking at.
Yeah, yeah.
So epsilon iota, sigma, iota, nu. So sin. So esin. Yeah.
Yeah, because okay. Yeah, because it's the E sound, right? So it's the E, and yeah, but the thing is, because the V is the V looking thing is an N.
Yeah, yeah.
So wouldn't it be een?
In. Sin.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I
So
thought
that's the N sound.
Yeah, and then if that was the E, wouldn't it be een?
Well, in. So sin. Am I saying it differently to you or something? Because that's how I pronounce I. The I sound, the short I is I. So sin. Same as sin.
Oh no! So the thing looks like an I. I thought it was pronounced like an E, like an in.
Yeah, so this is
Or
the
an
thing with
E.
iota. Sometimes it can sound more like an E, and sometimes it sounds more like I. So
Oh
here,
wow! Yeah, so that's confusing.
well, it can be a little bit, but what I'm trying to say to you, when iota is on its own, try to aim towards I rather than E. But
How am I gonna remember this?
it is going to sound like an E. So over here, it's really hard to say uki, right? It's going to sound more like an E there, but it should sound more like I here because Eason. So this should sound more like E. So try and make this sound longer E than this. But like I said, don't stress about it too much. Whatever comes out, if E works for you every time, both here and here, then go with that. But I'm going to pronounce that Eason.
Okay.
If you pronounce it Eason, okay, I'm not going to tell you're, well, I might suggest to you, no, I think it should be more like Eason. And this should be more.
No, tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. Don't sugarcoat
No.
it.
Well, I want you to learn the important things. Pronouncing that as Eason, close enough for now. You'll get better at it over time. So if you pronounce this one here as Tis rather than Tis, I would go Tis. But if you say Tis, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because other people do pronounce it that way. So there is a bit of variation here.
Okay.
There's other things that are really wrong that I'm going to focus on those and make sure that you're not making mistakes that are really bad. Ones like that, well, that's a variation in pronunciation that's accepted within the community. It's not how I pronounce it, but it works. And I'm not saying that I'm right. That's the other problem as well. Maybe my pronunciation, I'm being too, but I've got different people telling me different things, so I'm not sure.
All right, so I'm going to try that next long word on the next sentence down there. Yep.
This one?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that's peer or peel or peer. Yep.
So remember this one's short. Pe.
Oh. Okay, so it's per. Or
Perry.
pair. With the and the I, yeah. So it's Perry. Ray.
That's P. So remember P. Perry Pa. Or Pa. T.
A.
Pate. Perry Pate or Perry Pate.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sound discouraged. uh, don't push yourself too hard. We've been going for what, 3 hours or something or more?
Well, not
3
technically.
hours.
It's more like 2 hours and 15 minutes because we did have a few interruptions.
Yeah, but that's still, you know, you don't have to do 2 hours.
All right.
You know, you've learned a bit. I think it's best if we take a break and come back to it. If we come back to this regularly, I don't know whether you want to do this weekly. I think it's better to do it more than weekly. But
Okay.
if we don't do too much at one time,
Well, like every other day or every 2 days.
well, yeah, 3 days a week or every 2 days. Yeah, every second day. If we do an hour or half an hour or, you know, however much you want to do each day, and you don't have to do the whole thing. Like you can sit there and listen, and I work on my Greek, because don't let the fact that I know more Greek than you discourage you. Use it as a thing to go, just sit and listen and learn, and it will soak in. You will subconsciously be picking up things just by listening, and you will learn faster, because you're working with me and Charles and Nicholas and the little bits and pieces that each of us. So we know different things about the Greek. So Charles knows more. Well, Charles and Nicholas know things that I don't know. But Nicholas isn't so much about the pronunciation. That's not what he's been learning. He's been learning meaning.
Right.
Whereas I've been focusing more on pronunciation and trying to learn a little bit about meaning. And Charles is, you know, he's a different mix again. Some things he knows that Nicholas knows, some things he knows that I know. In some ways, he knows more than both of us about some things. But there's also things he doesn't know. And yeah, you'll pick up different things from all three of us, but just sit and let it soak. Just relax. Don't stress and, oh, we've got to remember everything that's said. No, you don't. That's not how a language is learned. Babies don't do that. Children don't even do it. And adults learning languages don't remember everything. We pick up bits and pieces. And some of it we're picking up subconsciously. We don't even know we're learning it. We're not aware that we're learning it until later on we go, well, I don't know how I knew that. It just somehow soaked in. It's like learning theology. It's like learning the Bible. You don't always know that you've learned something until you go, oh, hang on, where'd that come from? Well, it's because I heard this beautiful illustration once about how the Word of God washes us. It's not just the study that we do and the things that we're consciously learning. It washes us like water washes clothes that are put in it, or a basket that's put in water gets washed simply because it's in the water. And you're slowly getting cleaned because you're immersing yourself in the Word, and you're spending time in the Word, and the Holy Spirit is doing things that we're not even aware of. And there's a similarity between that and learning a language. You spend time in the language and little bits and pieces get picked up. So don't focus too much on, oh, wow, this is overwhelming. I don't know all of this. No. You're picking up little bits and pieces. So, yeah. And that's what I need to do more of. I need to spend more time in this and push myself to go beyond what I do know. And, yep, I'm looking at this and there's things I don't know in there. That's okay. I don't have to know everything now. It'll take time. So peripate, I don't even know what that means. I think peri has the idea of around. I don't know what the pate bit there means. En means in. Te, I'm pretty sure is the. Amera, I can't remember. I should know that word, but I've forgotten. U.
That's what I need to work on
Proscopte.
too, is remembering that O with the elongated like leg hanging off it is an R. Like that is not sinking in. Like I need to remember that's an R.
Yeah. So it looks like a P, but it's actually an R.
Right.
So if you ignore the bottom of the circle, it looks more like an R. It sort of has a bit of an R look if you cut off the bottom of the circle.
Right.
So just keep working on that. You'll get there. Proskopte oti to phos. I think that's light, if I remember correctly. 2 cosmu. There's cosmos, world or universe or people or whatever. 2 blepi. I think that's seeing or looking, actually, but I'm not sure.
Look it up in the English. See how close you were. That's John 11:9.
John 11:9 in the King James is, his disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews have late sought to stone thee. Oh, no, John 11:9. Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours? Oh, so 12 was in there somewhere, and hours was in there. In the day. Was that the Amora?
Cosmos.
If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. There's your cosmos, is world.
World. Yep.
And light, I was right. Phos. And yeah, seeth. So bleperi.
Yep. See it. Yep.
Seeth.
That is.
There you go. See, I don't know how I know those things. There's just bits and pieces that I've picked up, and okay. So I've got a little bit of a passing knowledge, sort of, and I just want to keep building on that. And the more that I immerse myself in it and go, okay, that's what it says in the Greek. This is how they've translated in the King James, and hopefully it'll just keep soaking in. Anyway, we could have fun for hours.
Oh, boy.
Lazarus is dead. Let's look that up. I want to see what Lazarus is dead looks like. Tota un epen autois ho Jesus. There we go. It's Jesus. Jesus. Parasia. I have no idea. Oh, Parasia. Lazarus. Apethanen. And there's your dead. Than. So they've put a bit in front of it. Ape. I don't remember what ape means, but there's your dead. Than. And Thanen. So that must mean is dead.
Gotcha.
And it refers to Lazarus. And this Parasia must be plainly. There we go. Plainly. So clearly Parasia. Then said Jesus unto them, Tote un epen. I don't know what the toti would be. Autois. That's the them. So that's the plural. Yeah, and that means, it sort of means them, but it's sort of, it's where we get our idea of auto from. So self. So automobile is, so mobile means mobile, moving. Self-moving is automobile. So, but it's themself. He said to them, and this is the he, the Jesus. Somewhere up here is speak, said, and to them. That's the them in Greek, in this verse at least. Because there's different forms of them. We'll get to that later as well. Anyway, yep. We'll get there, Kevin. We will. Patience. Don't get discouraged. This is the bit that's like, what are we doing? All of these squiggly letters and sounds. I can't remember.
Man.
But you've got that sheet, print that sheet up, put it up somewhere, keep glancing at it occasionally, and try and find ways to remember that the thing that looks like a P is actually rho. So it's the R sound. there's the omega, and then there's the other thing that you keep confusing for the omega, which is phi. So it's sort of a circle with a line going through it and down. So it sort of looks like a P, sort of.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one, the open U with the line going through it. That's the psi. The difference between upsilon nu, the one that looks like a V is nu. The one that's more open is like our U. It's got a circle at the bottom, like it's curved at the bottom, not straight. Not a point. And the difference between omicron and theta. So the circle with a line through it is th, and the one that looks like an O is an O.
Okay.
Well, it is omicron, not O omega. Omega is the W. And this is just the lowercase. We'll get to uppercase later. Once you've started to get lowercase established, we'll start confusing you with the uppercase. But when you're reading the Bible, it's nearly all lowercase. So learning lowercase is more important. Good. I think I'm going to go. It's heading towards bedtime. We've been going for 3.5 hours, and I really only intended to record this as an hour. But if you can chop this up and we re-upload it as just the Greek portion of this, hopefully it's encouraging to people, and we'll keep doing this. We'll keep going through the alphabet and trying to read the Bible in Greek. Learn our letters and sounds.
All right.
And then we'll move on to start learning words.
Well, all right. If you're going to bed, we'll have to have that talk with Fred another time, then.
Well, if he's free now.
Well, he hasn't messaged me back. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Janet. It makes it much more enjoyable when there's a few of us working on it together. And
I'm a terrible student.
Stop saying that. That's really discouraging for your teacher.
Oh, it's not your fault. I'm just slow at picking up.
Oh, I know, but I don't see you as a terrible student. You're a student. You're trying, and that's good. And you've learnt things, and I'm actually encouraged. I don't think you're a terrible student at all. I think you're a student, and you're learning. You're learning something new. It's not easy. So don't be hard on yourself. Be patient. I think you're doing well.
Makes you think, right? Like when you were a toddler and you were just learning how to talk. Like I don't even remember learning English. I've just always known how to speak it. So for my
it just happened somehow when we were young. But it is easier when you're young. It gets harder as you get older. It is harder work because your brain starts to solidify. And those abilities, they're innate abilities that you have when you're young, that you just naturally absorb languages. Yeah. It is a lot easier when you're young. But we've got the Holy Spirit, Kevin. He's our teacher.
Yeah.
I'm not the teacher. He's the teacher. We're all students together.
Well, technically, you're teaching me Greek. We're not we're not learning theological things here. We're learning
theology.
Greek.
Yeah, but the Holy Spirit's our teacher in that as well. If we rely on the Holy Spirit, he does, so that he can teach us theology, he does want us to learn Greek. So I'm convinced that he'll help us learn the Greek. He's the real teacher of Greek.
Right.
But anyway, yep. God bless you, Kevin. Can you stick around when I finish this?
Yes.
And we'll have a bit of a quick chat offline as well.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, Janet, everybody else that was here, and anybody else listening to this later. I pray that God will bless you with learning Greek and learning his word. And we'll catch you next time. God bless.